The Nerd Academy podcast is released weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on our website at www.thenerdacademypodcast.com and wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also help support the show by going to patreon.com/The Nerd Academy podcast, where every donation allows us to bring you more exciting content every week.
Vengeance. Hello there. Welcome back to the Nerd Academy podcast, your source for nerddom news and commentary. We are live 2 nights in a row because the Force was with us yesterday. We had our Obi-Wan Kenobi first look and trailer talk last night that we did live, a little impromptu. Tagged in a bunch of my Star Wars podcasting buddies. We had some love from Bombad Cast, obviously, Skywalking Through the League, Alden from Octo Radio. So go check that out if you haven't seen Eli from Star Wars in a Galaxy. So go check that out whenever you're done here if you want to watch some Obi-Wan Kenobi talk. But tonight we are talking about the Batman. It's TNAP Bat Month on Nerd Academy Movie Club. We are talking the Dark Knight trilogy. Obviously, we're talking about Batman here, and then I think not next week's TNAP. We're going to do a normal news roundup to catch up on the news next week. And then the week after that, we will be doing an episode all about the philosophy of Batman with Alden Diaz from Octo Radio. So I really hope you guys tune in for that. In the description of this episode is a link to the Amidala Initiative. If you guys were around last night, you're familiar with the Amidala Initiative. It is a GoFundMe campaign being run in part by Ben McDonald. They are trying to raise money for Equity Texas and to push back against the anti-trans laws being passed in Texas, as well as the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida. So please go support that. I implore you, as a queer creator with another queer creator on this stream, I very much want to make it clear that this is a safe place for anybody. That it's something that we, as like the Nerd Academy in a royal we type way, are very proud of. So I implore you to go support the Amidala Initiative in any way you can. Stitchcraft, a really cool non-binary run shop, is doing a cool shirt that will have proceeds going to the Amidala Initiative. It has like the brightest stars burn with hearts of Kyber quote from Rogue One on it. It's a really cute shirt. I'm gonna get myself one at some point. And then another artist, if you go check the Twitter, has like really cool trans pride, like Padme themed stickers that you can get to support the cause as well. So go check all of that out. But we're gonna jump into the show. Travis and I believe Lexi will be joining us very soon. But in the meantime, we are joined by, you know what it is. We're doing a review of something. So, Mitch is here.
Hey, you owe me a dance video.
I do. I'm going to be honest. I was going to record one going into the movie theater the night I saw the Batman. But it was too goddamn cold for me to ask my girlfriend or Spencer to stay outside that long. We were also running slightly late and we didn't want to miss the movie. So
excuses.
Oh, piss off. He's busting my balls since the moment he got into this stream too. He's killing me, Mitch.
Look, it is 1:37 a.m. on Friday, 11th of March for me. I can bust two.
You're right. The fact that you have never said no to me still boggles my fucking mind. Like every time
I'm awake at this time anyway. No,
okay, well that's fair. I feel slightly less bad. But also joining us, listener, patron, host of the multiple fan bases podcast. I don't know why I don't want to say it right, but we got the myth, the legend. We got Nick goddamn Johnson.
Hey, what's up? Oh my god! Right.
I was hoping the screen would be done live.
No.
I don't know why.
I've had food and liquids. I can't.
Oh, is that the
I've always wanted to do this on Nerd Academy. Hold on. There we go.
I cannot wait to tell Travis you need a little can crack at the top there. Yeah, we also got Planet Smarf, which if I'm okay, so Planet Smarf, is that one of your folks? Nick?
I'm not
Talking
sure.
about prepare your headphones. We also have
Oh,
Coop.
yep. There we go.
Courtney-
There's
yeah,
Micah.
there's Micah. Okay, I figured one of them were Micah. Micah, next time there is a multiple fan bases TNAP crossover, you as well will be on. I told Nick I wanted to avoid the stream getting a little ungainly because I didn't know how many TNAP people were going to be on. So I was trying to avoid it being a 10-person stream to talk about a 3-hour movie. Oh, hi, Tom. Yeah. Nick, I'm going to start with you while we wait for Travis and Lexi. You saw opening night as well as I did. What was your crowd
Which
like?
opening night?
That's
Which
right.
one are we
You did
talking
see it a
about?
couple
Yeah.
days early. That is true. All right. So just tell me about your first viewing experience.
All right. Well, I wasn't feeling well. I had a little bit of a sore throat, and this was like just when our school lifted a mask mandate. I was like, oh shit, are you telling me I'm gonna be sick the day when I get to see the Batman? But I was able to pull through it, and you see, we got to the AMC that was showing it about an hour early, and I'm so glad that we did because, well, one, I was one of the first people to get the Batman popcorn helmet, like the cowl, and you can't really see it, but it's like back there. And yeah, every time I go see the movie, I usually bring that with me, and I'm like, hey, could you just please like refill this for me? And they do it, which is nice, but like they're like, oh well, you see, I don't know for I was like, oh well, you have to pay for it. I'm like, yeah, I know, but
Yeah, give me my large popcorn.
yeah, just please, I want to eat out of Batman's head while I eat the Batman. That's going to get taken out of context very quick. Anyway,
yeah, that's gonna get clipped. Micah, get on it.
Yeah, it's gonna be Micah or Benny. It's gonna be one of them. But and
Actually, keep talking. Wait, let me grab
okay.
There we go.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Put the popcorn vessel, right? Oh God, right there. There we go.
But it's got a hole in it.
What was that?
It's got a hole in it for where the mouth goes.
Yeah.
Where's the popcorn go?
You open up his head and then he just goes in there.
Oh.
It's rather shallow.
I was
Like,
going to
they
say, how
say
deep is it? No.
They say you get a large popcorn with it, and
It's
there's
not.
no way in hell that you
It's
can
not
actually
large.
fit
It's
a
like
large popcorn in here.
it's like a little bit of a large popcorn. It's not much, but anyway, as we were walking in, like there were already like a few people in there, so I'm glad I wasn't the only one. I was like, yeah, see, I knew this would be busy. And anyway, but then as like the clock started ticking, like everyone was starting to show up, and it was a sold out like showing. Like even the bottom two rows were sold out, and I feel so bad for those people because it's an IMAX screen, and like your neck must be hurting. It's gonna hurt for like a day or two at least.
My second showing, I ended up in exactly that situation, dead center like this at an IMAX screen.
Cool. That's no fun. Yeah.
No,
but
no.
You see, I cannot relate because I always make sure I sit in the middle, and I get my tickets like right away.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. I normally do, but I ended up getting screwed on that one because someone took the seats and the movie was starting, and there's no time to be like, I got on my fucking seat.
But yeah, and the friend who I went with, so the person I always go with, like he couldn't make it, so I was like, okay, well, I'll take my other friend who's a massive Batman fan. Like he loves the Burton film, he loves the Schumacher movies, like Batman, like he loves Batman Forever. But he told me that he has not seen a great movie in like in like the last 5 years, like a top tier movie in his opinion, until we saw the Batman. And like at the end of the movie, he was like, that was fucking great. That's a top tier movie for me. I was like, yep, it did it. I'm so glad it did, because and I will say, like the crowd I had, it wasn't like No Way Home, type level of crowd. Like there weren't any like crowd reactions with this showing, which did surprise
That
me a
doesn't
little
surprise
bit,
me.
but
This is kind of a hard
did a
movie to
little
have
bit.
like a
Oh yeah,
what type
I
reaction
mean
at.
the Batmobile.
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe
like
that,
cool
or
moments, nothing like Daredevil showing up or people walking through portals and shit.
okay.
Which I was glad to have. I was kind of glad
Mhm.
to have a movie that I could get super excited about, but wasn't going to be like emotionally taxing, even in a good way, like No Way Home, where once you hit the third act, every 30 seconds you just like it kind of takes it out of you. And I was happy to have a movie that I could just love without
When I
screaming.
saw it the third time on Sunday, there was like right when Batman Catwoman kids, like there was a little group that were just cheering and clapping. I was all like, whatever floats your boats, guys.
Oh, that's funny as hell.
Yeah.
Pausing real quick, because she joined and I didn't want to interrupt Nick, but we got Lexi in now.
Hi.
Hello. Your thing's being covered, but I do like the Selexi Kyle.
Thank you.
Lexi, you were an opening night, yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
When was that? Thursday?
Last Thursday. Yeah, a week
Yeah,
from
yeah,
today.
yeah. Then
Yeah,
yes.
a week ago today.
A week ago already. Holy crap.
Right? What was opening night like? Because I know, because Nick went to one of those big fancy pre screenings. It was like a fan event.
Yeah, it's a fan event. Like the middle seats that I usually like, they were gone in like 15 seconds. Like the usual ones I get. And I was like,
Holy crap.
Jesus Christ, like wow. And it was like, I don't know how much it was like $25 a ticket for the fan event.
That doesn't
Wow.
surprise me at all.
Yeah.
And we got Travis, full team. Travis, you will be proud. Right before Nick started speaking, he was about to open his soda and went, "Wait, I'm on the Nerd Academy," and then like cracked it directly in the microphone.
Correct. Good job.
Our legacy
Thank
lives
you.
on. But Travis, Lexi, you guys saw opening night together, I presume.
Yep.
All right, what was opening night like for you guys? I want to hear everybody's thing. Mitch has been uncharacteristically quiet on Facebook and Twitter about the Batman, so I'm saving him for last because I have a feeling he's gonna be the contrarian here.
You or me?
Well, I was just gonna say, since he asked me first, there weren't that many people in, because we went to Route 30
Okay.
over here. Not a whole lot of people. I guess a decent amount for that theater because it's smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was
So-
the 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um,
Okay. Yeah, I had
Not
a
a whole
smaller
lot of-
showing. Oh, sorry.
not a whole lot of like talking or cheering or reactions in general. I know there were a couple laughs, but I don't remember at what. There's like chuckles. Maybe it was
Okay.
Riddler related. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we love us some incel 4chan Riddler. Riddler Chan. No, yeah, I went to the Greensburg AMC, and that also had a surprisingly small crowd. I was expecting a bigger group of people. Like a lot, everybody came in a group, but it wasn't full. Like everybody was kind of like 3 or 4 people deep, but it was enough so that everybody clearly got their preferred section.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the second time I had seen it, full house, not a seat open, which was a lot of fun. Seeing it with a big group of people was really cool because just all of those really tense moments throughout the movie, you could cut it with a knife in the auditorium. There was just so much pressure that was just very much suffocating the room. And it was so much fun seeing it with a bigger crowd. Because it was almost like we talked about No Way Home for a second there. it was almost the inverse of seeing No Way Home with a lot of people, where like instead of everybody having this communal, like almost like we're all at a friggin' concert, just, like losing our minds and excitement. It was the inverse where we're all just having moments where we're all just gonna be okay, quiet moments, But yeah. So okay, Mitch, opening
Yes.
night, and did you even like this movie? Because you have not said a word about it on social.
I mean, I have actually. If you've looked in the right places, I've said a fair amount, but I didn't see it opening night. I think I've lost track of time this week, so I'm really trying to remember. I think I saw it on the Monday, Monday afternoon, and it's only a little small cinema. Not a lot of people. It's not never really sold out. I think one day was sold out over the weekend, but that was it. So a nice, well-behaved crowd. No, none of this talking, making noise business. We don't do that. But overall, I genuinely really loved this movie.
All right.
Genuinely loved it. For something that was worrying me towards the end of the marketing campaign, like, oh, this is just another grim, gritty, grounded Nolan quote version of Batman. Like, it's kind of that, but it's done in a way that it makes me forget it's like that. If that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
I'm expecting the absence of people like a Poison Ivy, like a Killer Croc, and all the fantastical comic booky stuff. But it's kept that similar tone to it while being like grounded.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest concern moving forward is that I just want to see Batman have a superpowered villain again in a movie. Like I would just drop to my knees in front of Matt Reeves to just give me a Mr. Freeze, give me a Clayface or whatever. I want to see.
You picked
give
Mr.
me all the
Freeze.
villains. Yeah, Mr. Freeze.
I mean, Riddler's had a redemption movie now. Why can't Freeze?
Yeah, I guess that's true. So that's the next step, then, is what you're saying.
I think it should be.
Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy in one movie.
Yes.
As long as it's not like what Armin was saying earlier, where his friend said about doing Poison Ivy as an eco-terrorist, and my soul died a little inside.
I mean,
like you'd lose me instantly.
She already is. Like,
yeah, but not like I'm from 4chan Riddler style. Like,
yeah. I don't. I agree. I hope not every villain just becomes like some militia weirdo.
Clayface is just someone with just a little bit of clay on, like clay is just like on part of his face, and he's an actor. Like that's Clayface in the Matt Reeves movies.
He just has to roll around in mud before he gets into a scuffle.
Yep.
No.
Clayface is a theater kid turned terrorist. And then that's just all you get.
Yeah.
No, so I agree, and I think the main thing that sets the Batman's like another dark gritty whatever thing apart from Nolan, from the Snyder stuff, is the fact that the movie ends up being a critique of that flavor of Batman. And that final monologue narration we get from Bruce, I started crying. I was really, really moved by that scene because
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Well, because for me, and I had this moment because, and very, very bold hot take from me on this one. My two favorite superheroes are Spider-Man and Batman. And every single Spider-Man movie has at least one moment where I can clap my hands, point at the screen and go, that is Spider-Man. Like that feels ripped directly off the page. This has all of the ethos and philosophy that I feel like this character is supposed to have when I'm reading him or playing him in a video game or whatever. And every time I get a moment like that in a Batman movie, 9 times out of 10, it's Batman just being incredibly violent or cool, And yeah, that's a part of Bruce's character is that, him being lost in his grief and expressing it through being the Batman and all of that stuff. And it's just as vital to his character as anything else, to a certain extent. But every give me Batman scene is him beating the shit out of somebody, or him just saying or doing something cool. And having that moment during that final monologue where he's talking about, I have to be something more. I can't just be this vengeful specter haunting Gotham. I have to be a symbol of hope. That really got to me. I was so happy to see Batman be portrayed as something other than dark, brooding badass. And, Travis, as we talked about in the lead up to this movie, since it was announced, since we got that first trailer at Fandom, and I'm so happy both Travis and Lexi are here for this review, because we watched that first trailer together, the three of us, and we were all like hanging on each other, shaking each other violently for every beat of that trailer, and everything we were saying going in came to fruition about how we've had dark and gritty, dark Batman 1,000 times, but this seems like the best version of it. And how I want this movie to end with Bruce realizing, this can't be everything that I am, as cool as it is to see sometimes. And I was reduced to tears, and I was just getting choked up, and I was super excited. And then that moment where he's putting that lady on the stretcher and she's just like grabbing onto Bruce's arm, like that was the moment the tears started to come out, because I can't think of a live action Batman we've had in the last 10, 15 years that I could imagine that happening to. Like, I can't see that happening with Bale's Batman. I for sure can't fucking see it happening with Ben Affleck.
Probably would have just Flash.
Start pummeling them, asking if they know how to bleed. But yeah, that for me was my biggest takeaway, was that I'm gonna get to see Batman grow to truly be a hero, and that really got to me. Nick, you said you were super moved by that scene as well, or are we kind of coming from the same?
Yeah. And also, it was like around my second showing, like, again, like everything what you said, like, that's like, so my first showing I teared up, and around my second showing I was bawling my eyes. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe we finally got something like this in a Batman movie. And also I don't, not to like change it, but during my second showing, there was someone in like a Red Hood cosplay, and I just pointed, and when I saw him, and I was all like, yes, that's what I want to see right there. And then like the guy was like, giving him his concessions. He was like, wait, who was that? I was like, what? I was torn when he said he didn't know who Red Hood was, and I guess he must have thought it was like Deadpool or something. I was like, my heart just
one day
Red Hood spinoff. When?
I hope for you sooner rather than later.
Hopefully, no one is watching Titans, so I don't. He's not going to be in season 4, so I don't have any hope. Maybe Gotham Knights. The game.
I say don't say that in front of Travis. He came here to talk about a Gotham thing that he likes. Don't bring up Titans right now. Don't break his heart.
My whole newsfeed right now is that they started production on season 4,
yep,
and I'm like,
that's mine too.
Great. That's wonderful.
Travis is a free elf who is never probably going to talk about Titans again.
So. One day I'll finish season 3. One day I'll do it.
You're not missing much.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
Nick, the character growth. I know this gets talked about all the time, but you got unsnyder pilled. You're freely talking shit about Titans. We're so proud of you. All of us.
It was at that moment when Dick Grayson got shot in the neck by a 9-year-old, where it was like, okay, yeah, I'm done with this show. This is too stupid.
Oh, that was the tipping point for you.
Oh yeah,
not everything else.
As long as there was one, that's all I care about.
He was all like, "I
That's-
did it for
that's
you,
fair.
Red Hood, Red Hood, Red Hood." I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'm done. This show's too stupid. I can't go
And
on
again,
anymore."
yes, High Top Films, concession stand
Yes.
guy broke me.
Yeah, I was actually. Yep, throughout the entire day, I was like, "Titans broke me. I'm done."
I want to, but here, and this is another thing I love about the Batman, though. To kind of go over like the Red Hood thing from Titans. So much of this movie is shit other Batman and/or Gotham type stories have attempted, absolutely bungled, and then this movie does it and soars. Like you can take, I did it
Titans.
for Red Hood, I did it for Red Hood, and even to a certain extent, the Martha scene from BVS as different flavors of the beautifully handled, who the hell are you? I'm vengeance at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah,
For that
Mhm.
for that like final moment of clarity for Batman to go, "Oh shit, I'm out of control."
Yep. I mean, Titans.
Ah.
They basically stole. They copied Scarecrow's plan from the Batman Begins, and they put it into Titans. And I hate to say it, but Nolan did it better. And I love Batman Begins, but I don't know that. I don't want to talk about Titans. I can't.
No, I mean, hey, it
I mean,
was
I
a
will
good
when
segue.
I can, but yeah.
Mitch, I more often than not, I see and hear you talk more Marvel than DC by a very steady margin.
Yep.
Strangely enough, it's all positive.
Where like how
What
are
is-
you as a Batman fan, and how are you coming out of the movie? Just
I'm not a. I don't class myself as a Batman fan in any way, shape, or form. Right? I've never, even from like growing up with the animated series, I never really gravitated towards that. There's something about it. It never clicked with me. So throughout my life, I've never really like just genuinely liked that character. I think the overexposure to it has really put me off. But I always want to like the character, and some of the movies are all right. What we've had recently is, excluding this movie, obviously, is not for me. Let's put it that way. But something about this, I'm not sure if it's just the way they handled Bruce in this, or like the slightly different direction this movie took with that character. There's something about it. I'm still gonna say I'm a Batman fan, but it's
yeah. Well, like I said, I knew you weren't super into the character, so that was one of the reasons why. Oh, I really want to have Mitch on for this one because I want, I wasn't. I know nothing about your relationship to the character other than the fact that I never see you talk about Batman and barely have ever seen you talk about DC in general. Travis,
In a positive way.
Yeah,
just
that's
want to point that out. Yeah.
Travis,
Itchy mouse.
hardcore Gotham DC Batman fan.
Whatever
Thoughts
could you
on
mean?
Yes.
When we saw that first trailer and we heard Matt, listening to Matt Reeves talk about making the Batman, there was this moment of relief where I realized, okay, they get it. They understand what they're doing. And then we saw the trailer and that grew, and I was like, okay, they get it. This is going to be phenomenal because they just understand what it is they're making, and seeing the movie, it's everything I could ever want. Sans like more Bat Family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I can get Red Hood and Nightwing and Tim and Barbara and everyone in a Batman movie, that would be spectacular. It'd have to be like 6 hours, but I'd watch it.
Same.
I mean, I just take
I will put on a.
I would just take a 6-hour Red Hood movie and I'd be good.
That's fair. I also want Damian to be a Robin in a movie, and I know
no.
I'm never getting that, so it's fine.
You'll get him. Oh wait, no, never mind. He's not going to be in Gotham Knights.
Thank God.
Piss off. Piss off.
No, Jared, I'm on your side here.
Oh, okay.
I like Damian Wayne.
Boo.
I just don't want him ruined on the CW.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the video game. I forgot about the CW show.
There's a CW. We covered this. Oh my god, there is a
Yeah,
CW
there's
show.
two Gotham
Yeah.
Knights. There's the game and the show. They're dropping in the same month.
That's right. That's right. I want to be on it. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, the Obi-Wan live stream was a lot of fun. That was out of control in the best possible way. That
No,
as you were
Tim's,
saying, Travis.
Sorry, but
Yeah,
Tim's in
just-
Gotham Knights, and Damien is not in live action yet. Thank God.
Not yet. Yeah. Someday they'll attempt it and they will fail miserably, and then 3 more attempts later we'll get something passable.
Yeah, it's okay. He's the worst member in the Bat family. You know.
We're
Sorry.
picking fights, I see.
You watch
It's
your
okay to be
goddamn
wrong
mouth,
in
kid.
this year.
He's the coolest Robin. Shut up.
Tim
Jason
would
Butler.
like a word.
Tim gets to be his own standout character though, with Red Robin. All of the Robins get to become cooler when they're no longer a mainline Robin.
Okay,
Jason's
I just-
cooler as Nightwing. Jason
yeah,
is
that I
cooler
agree
as
with.
Red Hood.
Also agree.
Tim is
Okay,
cooler as Red Robin when he because then he's not completely under Bruce's thumb. Tim let off his chain, way cooler. Damian is the coolest while they are a Robin.
We can agree to disagree. This is not the place to talk about this. But so the scene you guys were just talking about with the girl in the stretcher got me, but before that, I think I prefer. I even saw this discourse on Twitter not long ago. I think I prefer the scene of him taking the people out of the water.
That is also incredible. Yes.
Just like the image of him reaching out to lead them out. The subtlety that the first person to take his hand is the kid that lost his dad in the beginning of the movie. Seeing them, just that.
Come with me, kid. You're going to be the next Robin.
Yep,
Training
yeah.
starts at dawn.
He was wearing a red hood at the beginning of the movie.
That was the kid who plays. That was the guy who plays Tim Drake.
Yeah, I remember. I
Mhm.
saw that. I thought that was him, and then I Googled it and confirmed it for myself. I thought I was tripping for a moment. I was like, that can't be Titans Tim Drake. There's no way that's him.
So
But-
would he technically be a DC Legacy casting in Titans?
Technically.
Yeah. He's
So,
like,
yeah,
oh,
I
you guys
just-
are. This is your first DC project. Psh, I've done one of these before. Don't sweat.
That was an extra. That's fine. And then he goes to Titans and he's still basically an extra.
Oh,
But yeah, everything about the combat was perfect. The costumes were perfect. The way the characters looked was perfect. Watching Gordon, and I've never been so happy with a Gordon. Oh my god,
Same.
Jeffrey Wright. Everyone's talking
Put a
about
smile on
Colin
my
Firth,
face.
and Colin Firth did a phenomenal job as Penguin. It was great. Jeffrey Wright. They made me want the Gotham PD show. I actually want to see
Yes.
Gordon do some
Well, that's
police work.
unfortunate.
Yeah, I know.
I
After
wouldn't be
this
surprised
movie,
if Gordon's
I was all
still
like,
a
yes.
major player in
Oh,
that.
sorry.
No, you're good. I was just saying, I wouldn't be
Okay, yeah,
surprised
yeah.
if the Arkham show that we're getting now isn't still very much Gordon centric.
Well, it wasn't supposed to be Gordon centric anyway, but
Yeah,
I
because
had
it's
a
a
feeling.
prequel, wasn't it?
No, it was kind of. It was year one.
it was year one. But it was supposed to follow one of the corrupt cops that was doing business with
Oh.
Falcone and stuff. And then it evolved into an Arkham show. My guess is it's on hold now because they want to do a sequel instead. And so they're trying to figure out that. But yeah, in this movie they want a sequel. I didn't want a sequel until I saw it because I was like, I just wanted to be a one and done. I want it to be perfect and we'll be good to go. And it's not even that they set up a sequel. I just want to see more of an actually developing Batman,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I think that one of the most fascinating arcs we could see for Bruce is to really, really watch the evolution from I'm Vengeance to him being thrust into those final moments of the movie where he's leading the people out of the water, and again, like the lady who was on the stretcher, where like he goes, oh, I have to be something more. What does that mean? I want to see him struggle to stay on that narrow path, to kind of steal something we talk about a lot whenever we're talking about Star Wars, with characters who fall to the dark side. There is we talk about all the time, choosing the light is a decision you have to make repeatedly. You don't just get to go, oh, okay, like I'm never going to be tempted by the dark side ever again. It becomes a part of your daily struggle. Once you start down the dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny. And in some ways that's true. And I want to see like the Batman version of that, where he has to constantly remember the example he set with that Riddler thug. Whenever that guy looked up at him and quoted him to himself, like I want to watch Bruce carry that emotional wound with him. And I think that would be really, really beautiful to continue going from. But as you were saying, Travis, I'm sorry. That part of the movie just, I can't stop thinking about it. And it's my favorite thing to talk about with this whole goddamn movie.
Yeah, I just think as I've been away, I've only seen it once. I only saw it that opening showing we saw. I've thought of a couple of like, I wouldn't even say gripes. They're just like little things that when I think about, because like for everything this movie does perfect. It's Falcone, not Falcone. I'll die on that hill even if I am wrong.
I'm pretty sure it's Falcone. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Someone else confirmed. Someone else told me that too when I said it out loud, and someone in my work was like, "I think you're right," because in the Arkham games they say Falcone, and I went, "Okay, good. I'm not crazy."
For a hot minute, I saw that he was played by Adam Sandler just for a little bit in this movie. Okay, look, part of me wish he was just a little bit, because I looked at him and was like, "That's Adam Sandler. He looks like Adam Sandler. He's got to be Adam Sandler."
What did John Turturro ever do to you?
Yeah, seriously. Leave Turturro alone. He's incredible in this.
So what we're saying is Adam Sandler to play Carmine Falcone in the Super Pets movie.
I was going to double down and go in the opposite direction and say Sandler for Salvatore Maroni.
That works too.
We have Keanu Reeves as Batman. I mean, anything is possible for the Super Pets movie.
Yeah.
I'm more hung up on Kevin Hart as Ace the Bat Dog more than Keanu.
They're just
Batman.
flipped. They cast them and they gave them the wrong scripts. Right? That had to be what happened.
Although if we are going to cast somebody to do a ridiculous Italian accent, because I know Nick is on the same boat as me, I say we have Jared Leto just play Paolo Gucci, but playing a Batman thug, so that we can get that same ridiculous. It's the Batman. Anyway,
that poor movie got snubbed.
I cannot wait to show the rest of the Nerd Academy people House of Gucci. Like I am counting the seconds to watch that.
You better bring me on. You better bring me on for movie club for that movie, please.
I was meaning to see that, and I never got to see it. And then I realized it was out of theaters a couple weeks ago because I saw the DVD in Target.
It's absolutely worth a watch. It's a good movie, but the parts with Leto were great.
I'm sure they were.
You're very sad Jared Leto month. I feel like also it didn't go too long, but it definitely at points I was like, okay, we're gonna get the wrap up and the closing shot and go to credit. Nope, we're still going. And there would be another scene, and then we keep going. Okay, wrap up. We're gonna see the closing shot. Go to credit. No, we're still going. Wrap up. I did one of those for a little bit. I think my only other issue, and again, none of these are real issues. The wingsuit was goofy.
Oh no, I love that thing so much. It's the right amount.
I'm so glad we're on the same page. I'm so glad we're on the same page.
It was the most Nolan feeling thing in this movie. Was the wingsuit?
Because he doesn't have Wayne tech.
It's just like it wasn't.
He doesn't have
sleek.
Wayne tech. He's not gonna have like Wayne tech. Like he's not gonna have like a suit for spelunking. Like like right now.
If that suit could take that much gunfire with him not feeling a thing, he could have a cape that glides.
I agree
willing
completely.
To suspend disbelief. That's all I'm saying. I am glad though we didn't get a scene before of like him talking to Alfred where they explicitly show the wingsuit and they're like, now remember, Mr. Wayne, here's your wingsuit. In case you need to fly away from a tall building, use this wingsuit. Like we would have gotten in a previous Batman movie.
That's true. I didn't like it. I didn't even mind that it's played for a joke that he like fucks up the deploying of the parachute. Like I laughed whenever he like hits the ground 18 times across the street. It's just I don't like Batman turning into a flying squirrel. Look, this movie, like again, it doesn't that I agree with you. It was the most Nolan feeling thing. It felt like the only time this movie falls into the trap that the Nolan stuff does. The reason I dislike, or don't dislike, but the thing I dislike the most about the Nolan movies is the way that for The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, less so with Begins, it feels like it's embarrassed to be a comic book movie. Mm-hmm. It feels like it's embarrassed of its roots, that it is trying so hard to be, dark and gritty, and the Joker's a terrorist and he cut up his own face and that's why he smiles all the time, and like Harvey Dent's burn wounds. Like we just did Dark Knight for Movie Club, and I forgot how fucked up Harvey Dent's face is in The Dark Knight.
It scared me as a kid.
I don't blame you. I got freaked out.
I couldn't sleep at night, and sometimes whenever I got when they revealed his face, I was like, "Yep, I'm done," and I wouldn't go back to the movie for at least like a couple days, and I was like, "Okay," and then I would see him, I was like, "Nope, can't do it."
Yeah, it's just so intense. Like they refuse to let it just be like kind of cartoony and silly. So many things. Bane can't be a luchador; he has to have like a Darth Vader respirator, which there's and again this falls into the pitfall. They try so hard. Yeah,
sorry.
They try so hard to take it too seriously, and then it becomes more silly than the shit from the comic book. And that's why, Travis, I agree with you 1,000%. I hate that wingsuit scene. It is so goddamn stupid. Like, just let him just away. And because it's more intimidating that way, too. If the whole point of this Batman is that he's, super imposing and terrifying, like, let him fly away like an actual bat. That would be scarier to me than, his like inflatable wingsuit.
You want Robert Pattinson flapping his arms in the air?
Oh, he doesn't flap his arms, bitch. Come on.
I just imagine
like
he
a
doesn't
bat.
Have the cape. He's just flying away like this. Yeah, I will say, I don't like the wingsuit, but it, like I said, they didn't lead in with now, Mr. Wayne, here's your wingsuit, and
yeah,
I think that
when I was studying over in England, a good friend of mine, when he went, he had a wingsuit.
Always pack your wingsuit. I think this movie does what DC does best, right? DC stories are best when you don't establish anything and you just drop us in the middle of DC universe, in this case, in the middle of Gotham, and you just go, right? We didn't see the Wayne murders. We didn't
yet.
There was no establishment of how Gordon and Batman started working together. That is fair. Lack of shark repellent, very fair. We don't need to know how Batman and Jim started working together. They just are, and they trust each other.
Yeah.
We don't need any build up for how Gotham is corrupt. We know Gotham is corrupt, and him investigating further into that, right? Doesn't need any prelude. We just know. It's nice. It's nice. to see a Batman movie not have to establish everything off the bat.
Nice pun. A distinct lack of pearls going flying into the air in this movie.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh God, it was so nice. It was so nice. I took bets with a lot of people. I was like, okay, how many minutes of this 3-hour runtime are dedicated to the Waynes being murdered?
And I told you, I was like, a minute in a flashback or something. And basically, kind of was that, sort of, not really.
And if you're not paying attention, it's kind of possible to miss the fact that we see Thomas and Martha Wayne. You know, like in the beginning, like when we get that clip of his speech, you know, like obviously when we see the Riddler video that he makes where he's saying, you know, Thomas Wayne, we're like, oh, you know, it's kind of hard to not notice it then. But earlier in the movie, it's kind of easy to miss the fact that we see what Thomas and Martha look like in this version. Which again, so much restraint on Matt Reeves' part. Like, he could have been very self-indulgent with this movie. From what I understand, there was apparently a deleted scene where we get more of Barry Keoghan, wherever you say his name, his Joker. Keoghan? Thank you. I've heard every person I hear say his name say it differently, and that is the moment where I just want to say Druig and move on.
I feel that.
There's a scene apparently that was cut from the movie where Bruce visits Arkham to talk to Joker. I was hearing about this yesterday that like apparently there's a scene where he like consults Joker about the Riddler. And he's like, you know, what do you know? What do you think? What would you do?
Where's the trigger?
Where's the trigger? Where is she? And that doesn't surprise me, you know, like it would have made a lot of sense to go in that direction. And we know that Barry had been shooting scenes, you know, enough so that not only was he at the premiere, he was in like the big group photo with all the important named characters. Like he was right there with Pattinson and Kravitz and Turturro and Farrell and Serkis and all of them. Paco, what are you? Oh, he's giving us a high five. I can see the emoji here, but it's not coming up in the stream.
It just said do the 5.
Yeah, it says do the 5, but it's like a high five on a stop sign in the YouTube chat. Oh, it's still up. There we go. But yeah, no, there was just so much restraint there. Like we could have been very gratuitous with the Wayne murders. We could have gotten more Joker. I really hope those deleted scenes are on the Blu-ray. I don't need them in the movie, but I would like to see them. I would like to see more of Barry kind of flexing his muscles with that character.
Maybe it's in the 4-hour director's cut that
I will take. You know who I do want to see a fucking 4-hour director's cut.
I do.
It's Matt Reeves and not your boy. I'm good. Thank you. Ow.
Hey, I've only seen. Hey, look, I've seen the movie. I've seen the Snyder cut all the way through only once, like in one sitting.
I don't believe that in the slightest.
No, it's
not at all.
It's okay. I've seen it 4 times.
Cap.
And
that's 12 hours.
First time
of the Snyder.
That's as many times that you've seen it.
It is, and I regret every minute of it.
Hey, you said you liked it.
I do like it. I'm just
yeah, you said it was at the top of your list. Okay, don't act like you didn't like it.
Now you're making up history.
No, I remember. Fun of it, I remember hearing you say that. Okay, I can go back to like a podcast over a year ago, and I can clip it.
Oh, you can't expect me to have the same opinion as a year ago. God.
Well, it's fine. It's fine.
Lexi, again, as I said last night with the Obi-Wan trailer talk, as the most well-adjusted person on any given panel. Thoughts on the movie? How'd you like it? Because again, I know you're kind of in that you don't like DC as much as you like Marvel, but what you like a lot.
Yeah. So, I didn't know what I was expecting from Robert Pattinson. Not that I didn't believe in him or have faith in his ability. But currently, and he's my favorite Batman.
You're not
At the
alone.
moment.
Nope.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
I'm still not
I
sure.
wasn't sure if I would get shot for that statement or not by anybody or people watching, but I adore him as Batman. And it was the perfect amount of dark and broody and violent, and also it showed a lot of his humility, and we got straight into it without having to rehash everything. I loved Zoe Kravitz. I don't know about you guys. I loved Zoe Kravitz.
Definitive Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's my opinion that'll get me shot. I'm not super into Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. In the same way that, like, I'm not super in, with the exception of Jack Nicholson as the Joker, I'm not super into any of the Tim Burton versions of Batman characters. Like, Keaton's great.
Okay, I'm not the only one.
Great.
I'm not the only one.
Keaton sticks the landing as like a kind of generic Batman, right? But Joe Nicholson's Joker is like the only Burton casting that I'm like, that I recognize my Pfeiffer's as iconic. It's one of those things that, like, my main love of it is for how important it was to pop culture and to helping to get comic book shit into the zeitgeist. But, like, on its own, her interpretation of Selena Kyle was not necessarily my favorite.
I can agree.
Zoe, on the other hand, as you were saying.
Yeah, I was blown away. I love Catwoman as a character so much, mainly because I love cats. But
I can't relate.
Cats.
Dogs are better.
Listen, I love all animals. I just have a track record of having wonderful cats. So, anyway, what else? I'm trying to think of everything. Oh, Alfred. I loved him. Heck yeah. Thank you.
The only Batman, in my opinion, who can even come close, the only Batman better than Pattinson is Kevin fucking Conroy. But like, that is I think a high enough praise on its own that you have to bring in Batman the Animated Series to throw down with Pattinson's Batman, in my opinion. But again, I think we all kind of co-sign that.
I can't think of anything else.
Might be my favorite. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
He might be my favorite. It's always been Affleck, but I don't like. I've seen the movie 3 times. I'm seeing it a 4th time on Saturday. But like, the more, like, I feel like the more I sit on, I'm like, yeah, Pattinson might be my favorite Batman. And I saw like a post. It was like, lock all these Batman in a room. Who's making out of there? And I'm like, well, you see, Affleck and Pattinson will just be stuck in that room for a month, and then check back, and they'll probably still be going at it.
Affleck might actually kill him.
Yeah. So that's where Benz has the upper hand, is he's going to shoot them all and then walk.
No gadgets.
Oh, no gadgets? Okay.
Yeah.
But if he falls over, he's doomed. He can't get back up.
No, all Pattinson has to say is Martha, and then he'll be like, "Why'd you say that name?"
Why? Starts having a PTSD flashback. Where else was I going with that?
Yeah, sorry,
I don't remember.
You.
No, it's okay. I was also sorry, Jared. I was kind of working on some school stuff.
No, you're fine. I figured. I know you were busy with that earlier. I was happy enough that you took time from it to pop on in the first place. So I
needed to talk about Batman. Oh, the other thing, I know everybody keeps making fun of his makeup around his eyes, but other Batmen have done that, right? Like that.
Yeah, all of them.
They've all done it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only time it was when like Keaton like ripped off his mask in Returns, where like he had the eye makeup on, and then you cut away, and then it's gone. And then
That's
ripped off
also
the
every
mask.
Batman as well. Affleck. has
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that they don't usually. It's not like a plot point usually. Whereas in not that it's a plot point, but like they make a point to show that he does like it's part of his get up.
True.
I just didn't like his haircut. I don't know
I
what
agree.
it was. It was
I
too
liked it.
emo looking. I just
Honestly, if for no other reason, I want a sequel to watch him be Bruce Wayne with like an actual haircut.
Yeah.
And,
Cleaned up.
Like going out in a suit, meeting with the mayor, doing some charity stuff, cleaning up Gotham that way, and then also beating the crap out of people as his like stress reliever. Those books gotta get balanced, and he's gotta be balanced up here to do it. You know what that means?
I'm gonna call attention to this comment from the Kingsley
blame
Bros.
Charlie.
No, but seriously, the amount of like blind hatred that Pattinson's casting got is absolutely a holdover from the Twilight era of women like this thing, so we have to say it's terrible. Now, you're not going to necessarily see me go to bat for fucking Twilight, but everything ever like Twilight gets relentlessly shit on unfairly. And the type of people who are like, ooh, Sparkle Boy isn't going to be my Batman, are the same people who, Twilight Boy, who have not seen The Lighthouse, who have not seen Good Time, who have not seen Tenet, who have not seen like all of these incredible performances.
So many
What was the
other
one on Netflix? It was Devil of All Time.
The Devil All the Time. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, that movie's terrifying. He's so gross in that. I remember telling Lexi not to fucking watch it because it's so unsettling.
Yeah.
Because you called me right after I finished watching it. I was like, remember how I told you I was watching that movie with Tom Holland and Robert Pattinson? You're like, yeah. I was like, yeah, it will fuck you up. Don't watch it.
Yeah, that movie almost made me miss my PS5, like the PS5 pre-orders.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was watching it, and I was right when I was done, I was like, oh my god. And then I looked at my phone, I was like, oh shit, PS5 pre-orders are up. But I
almost didn't sleep the night I watched it. I was so unsettled. Like I was watching it in my grandmother's basement, and like the credits are rolling, and I'm just by myself, and I can't not in a bad way, because it was kind of the point of the movie. I've never felt so empty and alone after watching a movie before. Like I regret not having somebody with me, because I was just like. I guess it's bedtime. Like,
try going to sleep after that one.
Yeah, exactly. And as you were saying, I'm sorry. No. I'm just ranting and raving about how nobody gave Robert a goddamn chance. And no, I think that the fact that they acknowledge the eye makeup that Batman wears, is like people may have a problem with it because it's Twilight Boy, and because he's Twilight Boy, people are like, oh, he's for girls, which is just asinine. And Travis, I agree with you completely. And like the other criticism, which is slightly less bad faith about how it's all Batman and no Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is Batman,
point, though.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. This version of Bruce does not see a necessity for the Bruce Wayne persona. He's all Batman, and I love that scene
so
where the
lost
mayor's
in the sauce that he understands he's not cognizant of everything happening, so he has to record his entire night and then like journal it. Like that's what goddamn
cool.
It wasn't. I need to start getting sleep. It was. I'm going to record everything I see. What do you say?
I said Nolan would never do detective vision.
No.
Yeah, Reeves actually did it, which. That I was about to get up and clap in his ear. I was like, yes, he did it.
It's just like he would have done it, but it would have taken half the movie to explain how and why it was happening, and then we would have gotten one
and
scene
then it would
with
have made sense.
No, and then Alfred would have given a speech.
Well, you say, Master Wayne, to be the world's greatest detective, it helps to be a multi-billionaire.
And the closest we got to Detective Vision before this was in The Dark Knight, where Bruce's like end game for the Joker was, Lucius, I'm the NSA now. I'm gonna go beat up this clown.
Cell phone, I can see everything.
Yeah.
So what did you ask me, Jared?
The more the movies go on, the more that voice gets more ridiculous.
I know. Oh my god, doing the audio commentary for it was grating. Because I'm again, I hate the fact that we talk about the Dark Knight like it is beyond criticism. That movie has third act problems.
Mhm.
Like it stops being fucking coherent for a second, where it's like, how did the Joker put like 18 bombs in a fully staffed hospital? Fuck you. That's why. How did Joker put a bunch of bombs on a bunch of boats? Fuck you. That's why. Anyway, no, I was just asking your overall thoughts. It's like, again, as someone who's a fan, but not like Batman,
No, it was awesome. I really enjoyed it a lot. It made me forget that it was like 3 hours long, except for what Travis was saying about the false starts or false endings.
That it ends like 4 times. Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know if I'd see it twice or 3 times, but maybe twice.
I can't get enough of it. I don't know. I'm kind of having the same relationship with this movie that I had with it's kind of like a hybrid of how I handled The Last Jedi and how I handled Rogue One. Because part of me, there was like for Last Jedi, I was like, I just want to soak up every second of this movie for as many times as I can. And then when I own it, I'm going to wear out the disc. And for Rogue One, it was that like, while it's in theaters, I'm just going to keep going back to watch the hallway scene. Like I will pay the price of admission to watch Vader kill this hallway full of rebels. And I want to soak up every moment of this movie. By the same token, I just want to watch that ending. I just want to watch, again, going back to Zack Snyder doing these like ham-fisted attempts at biblical symbolism and like those biblical type beats. Like there was something that felt that had that kind of gravitas with the scene with him leading them out of the stadium. That almost felt like Moses in the Red Sea type shit.
Yeah.
That isn't like the ham-fisted every 30 seconds Superman's gonna do this. Because I get it. Superman is your Christ figure.
I love me a good like biblical reference, but come on, Zachy boy.
Okay, I was gonna go get a drink, but then you started talking about the scene again, and like the reason it works and the reason Snyder's doesn't is because the metaphor actually pertains to the plot and the character in the movie. So like him leading them out, he's leading himself out of that darker place, and he's gonna be better Batman to make Gotham a better place, and these people are coming with him and they're gonna be better, and it wraps up the movie so well. And he's not. I know what you did. I wasn't in here, but you were doing this, right?
Yeah, that's. Like why when in Man of Steel, like why Superman in the ocean, like why is he just like this? Like in the ocean.
CGI's not finished and he's T-posing. That's what it is.
he's asserting super dominance.
Yeah.
Like I get it when he's like at the sun, like when he's like near the sun and he's like feeling the light. Like okay, fine. But why in the ocean?
Because we can't
exactly.
Get enough of it. But yeah, that scene is just the best thing in any Batman movie ever. Is perfect. It is Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson and everyone working on this movie actually understood what they were doing, and they understood the assignment. Okay, they got it.
They did.
I'm so happy.
They did.
And now I'm gonna go get another Mountain Dew. I'll be right back.
Do that, and in the immortal words of Snoop Dogg,
this motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
That took a second to come back. I love that clip. It's my favorite. I want to jump to Mitch's icon for this episode. Colin Farrell's Oswald Cobblepot. My God.
Balls on a filmmaker. To quote the great High Top Films, balls on a filmmaker.
Yes. Mitch, I'm gonna start with you because you seem like you got some Oz love going on here.
I mean, where do you begin? It's another redemption for character / actor this time as well. Because after
didn't
Bullseye
like him
and
as
Daredevil,
Bullseye. Oh, come
his
on.
Bullseye was not good.
That's a soft. Come on. You didn't like, hey, Bullseye.
Oh, that's my favorite part of that whole movie where he just won't stop rubbing his forehead. I rewatched Daredevil, like the movie, not too long ago, and I'm like, I love this shit. This is so stupid. I love this shit.
See, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Hashtag
I don't
Daredevil.
love it like BVS, where I'm like, this is trash. This is my trash. I watch it to laugh because it's terrible.
Also, okay, not the reason why you feel on BVS, but yeah, that's why I do watch it. It's trash. It's terrible, but I love watching it.
Okay. As you were saying, Mitch, I apologize.
really hope-
you derailed us with Colin
I'm gonna
Farrell.
say-
Bullseye.
Daredevil better be in the Illuminati for Doctor Strange and the Mom, and he better be, or else that movie.
You legitimately said Doctor Strange in the Mum, and I can't get over that. I'm sorry.
No, I was kind of caught on that as well.
That's just too.
Oh, come on.
My train of thought is just completely lost now after that.
Or
Jesus.
It Mom, as Benny likes
No,
to
you
put
said
it.
in the Mum, and I can't get over it. Oh. But no, Colin Farrell.
I got Mike saying it. It's okay.
I feel like Colin Farrell, he was always never a bad actor, but
No.
he's just gotten better with age. The more he's done,
yeah.
the better he's got, and he's shy. He stole every scene he was in for me in this movie. He was just fantastic.
I agree.
Even the little
completely.
waddle, even the little waddle he does.
That was the funniest shit.
It's dumb. It's goofy. I loved it. It's like, oh, thank you.
I was just so blown away. Like every time he was on screen, like there was a part of me that's just looking at him going like, that can't be Colin Farrell. That can't be him. Like again, going back, DC fandom 2021 or 2022 or 2020. Don't mind me, where they showed the first trailer and you see that shot of Penguin. I was like, that's not him. That is not Colin Farrell.
Yep.
There is not enough makeup on the planet to make him look like that.
Well, I can remember when the set pictures came out of him. People going, "Nah, Colin Farrell's not Penguin. Like, it's clearly not Colin Farrell. This is Colin Farrell here on set." And it's like, well, one's before makeup and one's after makeup. Like, it's if you look at the eyes, that's how you can tell it's Colin Farrell.
Oh, it's
Like everything
so
else,
good.
no,
Yeah.
the eyes is 100% Colin Farrell. But
I
he
can't.
also
I,
has the
I
best line in
seriously
the
can't
movie.
see him.
Like,
What are you saying is the best line in the movie, Mitch?
oh, it's is it Loretta? Am I the
It's-
only one that knows the difference between L and
it's
La?
La Rata.
It's so good.
His delivery, like he is just like his diet consisted exclusively of the scenery in
Yes.
that scene. He's like, "Am I the only one who knows the difference between L and La? No rata alata. Your Spanish needs some work." Like, it's so good. Like that is perfect. Like that
That
like
whole
the perfect penguin.
The whole interrogation scene. I was like, yeah, that's it. That's the perfect Penguin right there. Like he stole the show.
He absolutely did. Like, and that's what I love so much about this movie is like everybody gets a moment where they are just acting their ass off. Like, and we'll talk about Riddler here in a minute. But the interrogation scene, holy shit! Like again, just nothing but scenery. Another line delivery I loved so much from Farrell as Penguin was I mean, the first time he's talking to Batman right before Bruce leaves.
Whoa, take it easy, sweetheart.
No,
Was that one?
it's whenever
No.
it's whenever Bruce is like, like something mayor. And he goes, "The mayor? Oh shit, that's the mayor."
Yep.
Like the way he's playing dumb. And the look on his face. Oh my god, like it is so authentic. Like he just completely disappears into that role. Where like I don't know, like part of it's because Robert Pattinson has joined this lineage of actors who have played Batman. So there's going to be what's his take on Bruce? What is he? How does he, physically, vocally, how does he bring this character to life? And there's all these things that you kind of nitpick and watch, and like, what's his voice like? All of those things. So like, you kind of can't turn your brain off for Batman. You kind of go, you're analyzing his performance as Batman. Colin Farrell vanishes. That is Oswald Cobblepot. End of discussion. I just forget that's an actor playing a character. Like I'm just so lost in his performance the entire time. And he's so good. He is so funny. Again, like another like funny moment with him is whenever Falcone gets killed, and he gets tackled by the cop, and the way he's just like, I didn't even shoot him. It's the bellicose nature of his Penguin that I just perfect. Travis, I know you like Farrell was one of the things you hit on in your like opening thoughts, but while we're talking specifically Penguin.
I mean, just like you said it, like the interrogating him under the bridge scene, that first meeting with Batman, right, was just so good. Both like watching him interact with the world around him and everyone respond like he was the character without feel like standing out as something different from the world around him, if that makes sense.
That I like how you put that. Yeah.
Like he is Oswald Cobblepot, but also his energy matches the Gotham he is inhabiting and the characters he's interacting with. And so he never feels like not to the point where it takes you out of the experience, but like Heath Ledger's Joker can't talk. Stands out so much above the rest of the cast in Dark Knight. If that makes sense.
I know what you mean, yeah.
He almost doesn't match the energy, and it works in that movie because that's the point. But I can't think of a version that explains the opposite, where they're doing something insane and it doesn't match what's going on, but they're doing a good job.
Oh, just wait till we watch House of Gucci.
Okay, then.
That's exactly what you're describing.
Okay.
Like that's it.
I know who you mean. I haven't seen the movie, but I know who you mean. So yeah, just pure everything cinema. About him was pure cinema.
That's what House of Gucci is. It's pure cinema.
I think it would be hilarious if we do get a sequel or some kind of spin-off, if as he's the Penguin, he develops that Cockney accent that the Penguin's supposed to have.
We know we're getting a spin-off.
We're getting that Penguin TV show, which boy.
Yeah,
my God.
I'm kind of worried about that. I don't know if that character's gonna get too much after like 8 hours.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't get enough of it. I could watch this. Like, this is the kind of performance I live to see. And again, if they just do like The Sopranos, but it's in Gotham, sign
the Cobblepots.
Me, the Cobblepots. Oh my God. Yes. I will watch the Cobblepots. And you know how like in the Sopranos logo, like I can't remember what letter it was. I think it was like the P was like the handgun, making an umbrella.
Yeah.
B in Cobblepot, or the first B at least.
I would love, because one of my favorite things in the Arkham games is to listen to the thugs talk, and specifically if you listen to Penguin thugs, they will bring up the fact that he was raised in Gotham and should not have a Cockney accent. And I think it'd be hilarious if as he becomes the new like Don of the drug empire.
I forgot that was a thing. That's so funny. You're right. I completely forgot about that.
That like if he starts putting on a Cockney accent, everyone around him's like, if we question it, he'll kill us. But also it's weird.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Keeping it going, talking about our villains. Paul Dano's Riddler. So good. I had an experience watching it where Travis, was it Joker that we saw where like there were people awkwardly laughing at scenes that weren't supposed to be funny, that weren't even unintentionally funny, they just didn't know how to react to it? Was that
I think it was, but I think you're also talking about us.
I mean, there was a little bit of that for like
Because we
certain
definitely
lines.
laughed when he said the word society.
Well, I mean, yeah, I just
Like,
mean
we
like
both bellowed.
like the scenes where Arthur's like where his like laughing disorder kicks in, and like other people in the audience went, "Oh, he's laughing. That means we're supposed to laugh."
See, the only time where like I laughed was like when he like dropped a gun in like the children's hospital, and he was like, and the other kid was like that was
Oh
the
yeah,
only time
I almost
that was
knocked
the
our
only time I
popcorn
laughed.
over. I was laughing so hard at that part. That we almost made a very big mess. And Kingly Bros, you're going. This is exactly where I'm headed to. I got so nervous both times I saw the movie that there were going to be people who just don't understand how to handle a deliberately unsettling scene. So anytime somebody is acting weird, they just start laughing because haha funny for some reason. I was so nervous. Okay.
I did, and I believe Lexi did too. We both kind of cracked up a bit when he started screaming, "No, no, no!"
I laughed because I knew
did
that
the
was going to
second
be a
time.
meme in a week.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's all over TikTok. It's all over TikTok.
Exactly. I knew the moment. I laughed at that too because I was like, this is going to be a new meme. Like I can see this from a mile away. And like you said, Nick, I saw like 5 videos today. Just no.
No.
But like we had the comment here in the stream that like what did you do? Like when he just starts singing, I was like, all right, who's gonna start laughing? Like, let's get this over with. Who's gonna ruin this scene for everybody? I describe them as Andy Samberg scenes. Is whenever I saw The Force Awakens opening night, the scene where Kylo Ren takes his head off and slams it down on the table. The scene is so tense, and then there was this jackass in the back of the theater who went, "He looks like Andy Samberg," like really loudly, and then like took all of the tension out of the scene.
Oh, so when I saw The Kingsman, okay, in the Kindling Bros, he knows this, okay, because we went to go see the movie together. So, when we went to go see The Kingsman, spoiler alert for that movie, but I don't think anybody cares. It's the Kingsman.
Is it the Nick Fury Hitler scene?
No, it's not. It's not that one. It's okay. So
cinema.
it's. I still can't believe that he's like treating him like he's Nick Fury. Oh, but anyway, it was like the scene. So like the main character is like, and he's also a main character. But anyway, the main character's son died, and it's supposed to be this very tragic scene. And then someone in the back was like, "Damn, that sucks." And then everyone, there's like 10, at least like 10 people there. You know, me and my friend included, and we all just started laughing.
Oh my god.
That happened to me and Logan. And when
Travis, tell that story. Tell that story right now.
She flips it
I'm
into
full
the
screening
X.
you. This shit's so good.
X-23 flips the cross into an X and walks away, and it fades to black, and the credits start, and I'm about to start crying, and this woman sitting directly in front of me just goes, "Well, that was really sad." And yeah, I started bursting out laughing, and my friends are looking at me like, "You were about to cry. What are you doing?" And I was like, "Did you not hear this woman? Did you not hear?" "Well, that was really sad."
That was really sad. She's not wrong. But I loved Paul Dano's Riddler. Because of my unhealthy, fascination with online extremist weirdos. When we were getting like everybody talking about like, oh, this Riddler's like the Zodiac killer, and oh, this Riddler's like Kevin Spacey's character in Seven.
Kind of is like the Zodiac killer.
He is. I
Mhm.
was not expecting him to be like. I wasn't expecting the whole like online radicalism thing to play in. So like when we find out he has some like weird like again like Riddler Chan as we were joking about earlier, I was like, oh, I'm like way more into this than I already was, and I was super into it to begin with because I was like, you're scratching a very specific itch for me. You know, like I don't give a damn about serial killers. I do give a damn about malicious psychos. And malicious psycho Riddler was oh perfect.
Yeah, like
His performance was incredible. I loved again, you know, Matt Reeves like looked at this rubric of like, okay, here's all this shit other people tried to do before, going back to like the like biblical analogies with DC stuff, doing this like flood myth for Gotham, where like Riddler is like treating himself as though he's this vengeful god who's going to drown out Gotham City. Oh, marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. It was so good. So good. I understand that Edward Nashton is his name in the comics sometimes. I do wish they just pulled the trigger on the goofy name. But I'll take what I can get.
Riddler in like half the movie's like, if you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye? And then like other 50% is like, hey guys, thank you so much for 500 followers and a huge big shout out to the sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Wow, such a great game. Whenever I'm playing my next victim, I always play Raid Shadow Legends.
Gets me in the
And
murdering
don't forget to
mood.
hit that bell button.
Don't forget to ring that bell. Thank you to our sponsor, Sunday's Bloody Mary. Oh, that's so funny. You know what? The next time I do a Sunday's ad, I'm gonna do it as the Riddler, like duct tape and everything. Someone come up with a Bloody Mary riddle because I'm not good at riddles or coming up with them. Mitch, your thoughts on Dano's Riddler?
Loved him. There's an interesting link between Batman and the Riddler in this because Batman doesn't talk a lot.
No.
This entire movie, Patterson doesn't really have the script. He either forgot it or he didn't want to do it. So he's propped up by all these other supporting characters, and just obviously the Riddler's going to talk a shit ton. It's the Riddler.
They just put Pattinson in a van like Kevin Feige does, and he just reads them his lines. It was like, okay, you're supposed to. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's just
it's
this interesting connection between the villain talking more than the hero, where they're both doing the exact same thing. The Riddler even thinks that Batman's been helping him out the entire movie. And I don't know. I've only just really made that connection in my head just now, but so I'm not entirely sure on it. But
so on the topic of the Batman and Riddler's relationship, quick show of hands. Do we think Riddler cracked? I mean, I can't see your hands, Mitch. So I'll take your word for it. Do we think Riddler figured out Bruce's identity by the end?
I have no idea.
Or is that a red herring for the audience?
No.
Maybe.
I think it's intentional. I think it's entirely intentional to make you question if he knows or not.
I feel like it. Yeah. They did a good job making us question it. Because like when he's Bruce Wayne and then I'm like, oh shit, he figured out that he's Batman. And then I forgot what he said after that, but then he made it sound like that he didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just saying that Bruce Wayne was like,
couldn't get.
Yep. And I was like, motherfucker. Oh man,
yeah, and I don't think so.
You don't think he knows?
I don't think he knew. Yeah, I don't know. But I didn't think so. That's not what I got from it. At first, I was like, oh no. And then he was just being dramatic, I think. Maybe.
Because I thought they were going to go the hush route where he knows and didn't and then he does the Riddler thing of
Which hush?
Well, don't.
Sit the-
So
Good
I will
hush.
say,
Good hush, Nick. Down, boy. Don't do that
No.
to draft.
I will say this movie did cause something. In my recommended feed on YouTube, I got to rewatch the fight in the animated movie between Batman and Riddler, where my favorite thing maybe in the entire animated movie lineup for DC is listening to Batman actually call Riddler a C-lister. Like best insult any hero's ever given any villain ever.
I agree because it's incredibly meta. We also, real quick, $10 patron Paco, who apparently has a new name on Patreon for me to read at the end of the episode, is singing the praises of the Batman as we go. You don't think he knew? So
Yeah, I think
because it's. Oh, sorry, Travis. Keep going.
I think they would have done the dialogue of if because in Hush, Riddler tells him he knows, and then Batman's like, "But you won't tell anybody," because if a riddle that everyone knows isn't a riddle anymore, and that's what you want. We would have gotten something close to that scene where Bruce convinces him to shut up, or he would have just blabbed it way earlier in the movie. So I think it was the red herring of like it's trying to fake you out, and then he tips his hand that he doesn't know it's him.
I'm still on the fence, and I think, like, gun to my head, I'm leaning towards Riddler not knowing, but I also wouldn't put it past Riddler in some hyper, complicated, convoluted bullshit that either he attacked Bruce Wayne knowing, and it was a red herring to convince people he didn't know so that he could better keep Bruce's secret. We also see that Alfred survives the blast. So,
Dude, I thought he was gonna die.
I did too.
Mhm,
I was so afraid for Alfred.
mhm. I was
But-
like,
Well, who do you
I
"You're actually
absolutely
gonna
thought
kill
that
him
man
off
was
in the
dead.
first movie."
taught Batman to go block? That's all you got to do in an explosion. You just go block. It's true.
You're not wrong. That's how I will survive all explosions once the shooting starts. But I part of me was like, okay, like this is the Riddler playing 5D chess, right?
He's playing
how
chess
I
and
was looking at
Batman's
it,
playing checkers.
and he's playing bat checkers. And
Yep.
or conversely, by the end of the movie, because Riddler probably finds out that Bruce Wayne wasn't hit in the blast, it was Alfred. That Bruce Wayne's fine, but Bruce Wayne wasn't home. Why wasn't Bruce Wayne home? Oh my God, he raced there, and Batman shows up at Wayne Tower not long after. I know they were at the orphanage. Like, I kind of got to the point where maybe Riddler put it together that even though he did try to kill Bruce Wayne, he figures it out through Bruce's survival. Now, again,
I'm surprised Gordon didn't figure it out.
Me too.
Because
I'd be
when they were
super
at
cool
the-
with Gordon just knowing and being cool about it.
Because when they were at the the Wayne Manor orphanage, it was like, oh my God, his last victim's Bruce Wayne, and then they're at Riddler's apartment, and it was like, and Batman's like, I'm his last victim, and then I just saw him go, are you Bruce Wayne? Oh my God, Bruce Wayne?
Yeah.
You're Batman.
I don't know. I don't think he knows, but I love the fact that, again, like, you can make a really sound argument to suggest that he does. And I really, really do love that decision to kind of keep it ambiguous.
Mhm.
And Travis, I'm so glad you brought up Hush, because for a hot minute there, mostly in the orphanage scene, yes, yeah, it isn't interesting. Like, I think this is going to be one of those things we're going to talk about for a while, or at least until we get an answer. I love that. I love when we get something new to add to conversation like this. There was a moment
the other
during
aspect to it. You and me.
No, you go, bud. You're good.
Okay. There is, because the other Riddler aspect to it is when Riddler comes to the conclusion that it's Bruce Wayne, it's too easy. Like, it makes too much sense, and he's like, that can't be the answer. It's got to be somebody else.
Yeah.
Which, again, is my favorite interaction between him and Bruce in the Arkham games, is after you've completed the game, if you kidnap, if you arrest the Riddler after the identity's been revealed, he's like, you faked it. I know you're not Bruce Wayne, you idiot. But everyone else fell for it. But me, I'm too smart for that. And I imagine
See, I
this Riddler
can't see
doing
myself.
something similar.
I can't see myself giving up my life to find all the Riddler trophies. No, I'll just find it online.
It's worth it. You get to punch him in the face. It is so worth
wow.
it. Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm good.
Nick's like, I will live vicariously through whomever does it on YouTube, and I'll watch them punch Riddler in the mouth. I had a moment where I thought they were going to kind of go an MCU route, where you kind of get like a slurry of different villains. You know, kind of like what they did with Whiplash and Iron Man 2, where he's Whiplash, but he's also Titanium Man, and he's also Crimson Dynamo, and they all just kind of like put it in a fucking blender to get all of like Tony Stark's Russian enemies as one guy. For a moment, I thought they were going to pull a twist with the Riddler and have him be a hybrid of Lincoln March, Tommy Elliott, and Edward Nygma. Like, I really thought they were about to, because like the fact that he's in an orphanage and approximately the same age as Bruce, and I thought they were really going to go Bruce Wayne's evil brother for a hot second.
That sounds like something Snyder would do.
It does, kind of. But like, this movie could pull it off.
Yeah, true.
Well, because it's more rooted in like, you know, the corruption of the Waynes, and how like if the Wayne family is as bad as a Falcone or a Maroni or whatever, I can totally see Thomas and Martha just gonna little poor Lincoln March, you know, to the orphanage.
This Thomas and Martha, yeah, it definitely seems like something they would do.
Yeah, and like, granted, I love the fact that, again, it's more complex than just Thomas and Martha Wayne were assholes. Like, they were complex people. Thomas did something terrible, you know, by telling Falcone to do anything about the reporter. But the fact that Thomas was appalled and about to turn himself in for the killing makes me more fascinated by it. You know, the Waynes were good people is interesting. The Waynes were bad people is more interesting because it's a more fresh concept. The Waynes were good people who did who did several shitty things. I think is the very happy medium. So for a moment, I thought we were going to get that, like, Bruce's evil brother. And for a minute, I thought we were going to get like a Hush type villain, you know, where he's like trying to usurp Bruce in a way. And, you know, obviously, you know, they write Hush in big fucking letters at one point. And then it kind of hit me where I'm like, this Riddler looks more like Hush than he looks like the Riddler. And for a hot second, I'm like, and again, I'm like, you know, Charlie in Always Sunny with the cork board, you know, where it's just like strings connecting to different Batman villains in the theater, trying to be like, okay, like, is this supposed to be a hybrid or whatever? And I think that's great. I think the fact that like the movie caused, I'm sure I'm not the only one who went, is it Hush? Is it like are they like adapting the source material again in this really meta way, messing with our expectations as Batman fans? You know, I thought that was brilliant. Travis, it looked like you were getting ready to say something with the Hush stuff.
No, I was just pointing, like, I also had a moment of, I wonder if that big Hush on the screen is on purpose.
Yeah, oh god, that's on my list of villains I want next. Because I think Hush at this point is probably the biggest Batman villain who we haven't seen in live action. like in terms of like, you know, their importance to Bruce's mythos, you know, even though he's a relatively new character compared to the likes of Joker and the Riddler and what have you, you know, I think he's kind of the last one, you know, and
Well, no,
what
we
you're
got
saying,
it.
bud?
Well, we did get him in the live action. It was Batwoman.
Hush wasn't Batwoman.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, like second episode.
That doesn't count.
No, it was like the.
No,
it was-
I'm not allowing it.
I absolutely
there's-
agree with this
again-
comment. I 100% agree with this comment.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I co-sign as well.
Because Hush Riddler is best Riddler. 100%.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. And
I'm gonna take
I'll
that out of the
start.
context and make it look like that you said that about the animated movie.
Oh God, no! Oh no!
I will say, looking towards the future and potential sequels, I first of all, I cannot wait to see where they go next with Selina's character. She ends in such an interesting place, and to jump to something we've been talking about on Movie Club, watching The Dark Knight. That version of Bruce Wayne in the Dark Knight trilogy kind of skips some steps in character development where he kind of gets the unhinged, like, vengeance shit out of his system before he's even Batman, right? And again, it makes for good storytelling for sure. It's not a bad decision at all. But he's kind of over that shit by the time he's in the cape and cowl, and he's doing it for the quote unquote right reasons. I love how we got a movie of Selina being morally questionable and kind of being on both sides of the fence, because I'm very curious to see if we will see a more heroic Selina in the future, or if she will pick the darker path. Like, I love that, but we got to see Bruce make his choice. Selina hasn't quite made her choice yet. It's still up. I think it's still questionable where she falls. And like, if you were to like do like a D&D alignment chart, you know,
Maybe in her show. Maybe we'll see like where she falls in like her show.
is she
hopefully
getting a
happens.
show too?
It's been rumored, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Like during the first fandom, it's been rumored. Yeah. And I'm still
I would be
surprised that
very
they
into
haven't.
that. I would
I'm
be
surprised
very
that
into
they have
that.
not officially announced it yet, because I know like a lot of people like seem like at least to me, at least like I've seen like so much praise for her as Catwoman, and it's all well deserved. Like she was absolutely great in this movie. Like and like what you said before, she's the definitive Catwoman.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
for me, she's head and shoulders.
So it depends on what Reeves has got planned, right? Because
Yeah.
you know,
sure.
it could very well be a case of her going down a darker path, and because her and Batman need each other to be the best versions of themselves, right? So
yeah.
the second movie, they're not together anymore. He finds out she's going down that dark path. You know, you have to like Court of Owls or whatever be the main big bad, but that's her story is specifically for the sequel, and that's why we haven't got the announcement for the show.
That's interesting. I think you might be onto something with that. With talking about sequels, you know, I'm not gonna go first. Mitch, I'm gonna throw to you because I feel like I'm going to end up taking the most popular potential villain for sequels that I want to see very badly. So we'll just kind of snake around, and then I'll go after Travis. Mitch, who do you want to see in sequels as baddies? Baddies.
A second one, definitely Court of Owls. I think the way they handled how corrupt Gotham is in this movie, it lends itself to then the second one being the Court of Owls, and then you carry on the Thomas and Martha Wayne story. Then the third one is Hush. That's the order I would go in personally. Just that escalation. You reveal it a bit more in the second one that Thomas and Martha are a little bit shadier, and then it's like, hey, we tried to bury this child. No, do it that way. That's what I'd do.
All right.
Which one would? I'm sorry. Which one would you think Joker would be in?
None.
No Joker.
No Joker?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, right. I don't
I'm
believe
glad you
Matt
brought that
Reeves
up because I
saying
do want to add this caveat real quick. Villains you want to see, and also if you think Joker will play a role. I'm glad you said that, Nick, because I did want to introduce that as well because I have
Like-
thoughts.
I don't believe Matt Reeves saying we'll never see Barry Keoghan again in that role, or we might never see him again in that role. Part of me thinks the reason why we have this haunted house quote Arkham Asylum show coming out is because he's in that. And he plays his role in that.
I'd be super into that.
That'd be good.
All right, Nick. Future villains and where do you think Joker will fit in, if at all?
Honestly, I know I don't see this happening, but I would actually really love to see Mr. Freeze in like one of the sequels, and finally done proper in live action. I'm watching Gotham right now, and I'm sorry, Mitch, but I absolutely love that show. And
It's okay, we all make mistakes.
Okay.
It's fine.
God damn it, Mitch. And
I'm just glad I'm not the only one getting Mitch smoke tonight.
listen, I've been getting it ever since I joined the group.
Choose your
Anyway.
words better, Jared, please.
But yeah, like I feel like it's about time that we get like a proper version of Mr. Freeze, because like we finally like, and you see like the only good version of Penguin that we had, it was in Gotham, and I feel like the one who played him, and I don't know who's the actor's name
Is
in
this
Gotham,
Danny
but-
DeVito slander we're about to have here?
Okay, no, look, Danny DeVito was good, but I feel like the person.
Oh, the fuck he
like,
wasn't.
Whoever. Okay, he was over the top.
It's
Good.
awful. That movie's terrible.
You did. Oh, come on. What's wrong with him biting noses off of people? Come on. And eating fish and having massive flippers for hands. Like, come on.
It's just the Always
Danny.
Sunny prequel. That's all it is.
But
His Oswald Cobblepot is the same character as Frank.
but I feel like with how Matt Reeves is like doing these the villains here, I feel like he's gonna do like a really good job of Mr. Freeze. But the one character who I feel like I really want to see is Jason Todd, because but I feel like Matt Reeves can do like a really good job with like and I feel like I can see Jason Todd being like the first Robin in this universe, because like I don't know, like I feel like right when Pattinson said that like Death in the Family was like one of his favorite comics, like I don't know why, but to me at least I got the implication that it's like, okay, maybe it's gonna be Jason Todd, because I feel like for this world I can see him being the first Robin and not Dick Grayson.
So how would you structure that? Say if you got 2 more movies. Would you have Jason Todd in one movie, or would you spread him out over the
No, you have it spread over two. Like
Interesting.
maybe have
Death in the Family, and then Under the Red Hood is the second.
I don't know. I feel wouldn't it be rushing it?
Here's
Because he
the
says
thing.
that like is Red Hood like, oh yeah, you're gonna have like a 17-year-old be Red Hood when because Pattinson says he wants a 12-year-old to play Robin. So yeah, you're
He's
gonna have a
definitely Batman then. No.
It's like, all right, kid. It was like, hey kid,
Why do you think I have Robin wear red and green?
hey kid, I know you just lost your family, but that's okay. You're gonna come live with me, and I'm gonna train you to be your fullest potential. Stick to guns of your character you love. Yes, thanks, Yuri. But you know, he's like, anyway, he's like, I can't know you just lost your family, but you can come live with me and maybe, you know, wear these bright colors so you know you can, you know, draw the fire while I take out all these other guys. You might get shot at a lot. You might get hit with a crowbar. But don't worry. You get to live in this big fancy house, so it's all good.
Yeah, I love the Panda Red type, hey, I know you watch your family today. You want to fucking learn how to do kung fu?
You might get shot at, but it's okay.
You're gonna get shot.
You
Like
can be
not
flipped.
shot at.
Is
You
every-
will get hit with a bullet, at least a couple.
Has everyone seen that meme of Pattinson holding the little Robin costume, smiling at that kid in the
Oh,
funeral?
yep, I've seen.
Yes!
I posted it.
Oh, hold on. I think it's in the CBC group. I'll find
It
it.
is. I
It's
posted
so
it. I posted it in the spoiler
unnerving.
post. I
His,
posted
in the
it
spoiler
his
post, thank you.
smile is
Yeah.
the most horrendous thing you'll ever see.
It's so funny.
He's just holding it. It's like actually that kid might become Robin, and maybe that is Dick Grayson or Jason Todd. I don't know.
I saw it again and it got me. This is so vile. Whoever made this should be ashamed of himself. All right, here you go. For Travis and Lexi's viewing pleasure.
Oh boy. Did you
Oh,
send it or
no.
did you?
Yeah, I sent it. It's probably sending still because I
Okay.
no Wi-Fi out here. Okay, there you go.
Travis, did I or did I not make that joke in the theater about that kid?
You
I
did.
swear I said it. Yeah.
You absolutely did. Like in that
I-
scene, you turned to me and went, "He's looking at that kid like he knows what he's about to do."
Yeah.
No, like
That's-
right when
yeah.
he saved him from the, right when the car was about to hit him, and he saved him, he was like, "All right, kid, train starts at my place at 12. Don't be late. You're gonna become Robin."
I said the same thing to Spencer on opening night too that I just said earlier, where I like leaned over to him. Yeah, in that scene where he's looking at the kid, like I just slowly leaned over to Spencer and went, "Hey kid, you want to learn kung fu?" Like he looks no one full screening you.
Look at him.
He's having the time of his life. He's found his true
Such
color.
a vile meme.
He's like, you're next. or
Oh,
you're first.
It's
Like I
it's
said,
Ian
it's that-
Glenn's. It's like Ian Glenn's Bruce Wayne. He just has like he just has a file of a bunch of kids.
The Rolodex of orphans that he can recruit.
It's like, you want to be Robin again?
That scene was so fucked up. I have no idea how I made it past that trying to watch Titans. Oh my god, that is so funny. I
Yeah.
love that meme.
Back,
Again, it's like the Panda Red on TikTok thing, like Alfred, call the guy.
but
Oh my goodness.
what they should
Look
do,
at him.
what they should
I
do, they
can't
should
get
have.
over it.
But anyway, well, like what they could do, like they could have like two trilogies, like trilogy, like this like 2 and 3. You know, he becomes Robin, and then third movie, you know, you have Death in the Family, and then you have this new trilogy where it's under the Red Hood, or something like that.
See,
I would-
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is that there was a really good opportunity.
And then we get
with this.
And then we finally get a HBO Max Red Hood series.
It's all that matters,
There-
bud. And I hope
That's
you
all
get
that
it.
matters. I
So
need a
keep
Red
keep
Hood
speaking
pro-
it. It will happen one day.
I mean,
I-
Gotham Knights. That's the closest I'm gonna get to a Red Hood game. So you know, I'll take whatever I can get besides the DLC and Arkham Knight.
Nick, one day you will get a Red Hood show, and one day Superior Spider-Man will show up in something. I think the Snyder stuff, talking about Red Hood in the movies, I think that was the golden opportunity, and they shit the bed.
Yeah, I don't. Like
Jason should have been the dead
Mhm.
Robin.
Yep.
And, you know, again, with how much I loved this movie, I have a hard time thinking about whether or not I would trade this for a Batfleck movie. I don't think I would. But in the universe where they were able to keep
No.
things on target, I see Travis shaking his head no, and I think you're right. In a universe where they kept this on the tracks and Affleck got to do his movie, that is where you do Under the Red Hood, where you just jump into Jason returning and again tell the story of him getting killed by Joker and flashback.
Mhm.
do all of that stuff, but like I don't see this movie going past. I don't see this franchise going past 3.
Yeah, but it would be cool.
And I would be so happy if we got like 5 of these. But I don't think we have the real estate story-wise to tell Death in the Family and Under the Red Hood. Because it would take up 2 movies, and I don't need a movie with the Joker yet. I don't want the next one to be the Joker. Not
he could
at
be
all.
in it, but he doesn't have to be the main villain.
Yeah, exactly. But like, he becomes the main villain when he kills Robin. You know, when he murders Robin. You know, I want to see Barry's Joker, and goddamn, Mitch, I hope you're right that he's the center of the Arkham show.
I hope so.
I would love it so much, but I don't think it's feasible. And again, I could be wrong. I love to be proven wrong with this kind of thing, but I don't think that would work necessarily. But yeah, Lexi, potential villains for the future. I'm sorry I caught you with a mouthful.
It's okay. Chipotle can wait. Because I don't know too many Batman villains other than what we just saw and Joker and Mr. Freeze, and I can't think of any others at the moment. I might know them if I hear them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always ask me these types of questions, and I always seem like I'm like, I don't know.
No.
Guess we'll see.
No. I know that's fair. I also like I said, I like to hear from somebody who well-adjusted.
Yeah, I mean, well-adjusted in a sense, I guess.
Okay, Lexi, you didn't fucking buy one of these at the movie theater. When I say well-adjusted,
what is that?
It's
Did I
the
miss
popcorn.
$28.
That's a
$20.
popcorn bucket?
Yeah.
They had that at Greensburg?
Yeah, I got according to
seen
Spencer,
anything at Greensburg in a while.
$28.
they only had them for opening night. They only had it was like the
How
R2D2
much
ones
was
from
it?
Rise of Skywalker.
Well, at mine, it was $28. With tax.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was because Spencer
$30 for that?
Yeah, Spencer grabbed it and I hit him back for it. It came with a free large popcorn.
No,
but
wait, you got a free
It
large
should come
popcorn?
with a job to pay itself off. Like Christ.
I had to pay extra. I had to. Oh no, wait, did I?
No, it comes
I had
with a
to pay-
large popcorn.
What?
They don't put it in, but they give you a popcorn, or at least they were supposed to.
Didn't-
Nick,
didn't
you might
go
have
for
gotten
me.
fucked, bud.
Oh, that's upsetting. I'm sorry.
And now I want popcorn. You assholes.
But side note, I haven't seen our Greensburg one do that in a while, like with cups or buckets or stuff, anything like that, stuff like that.
The last cool thing they did was Rise of Skywalker with like the crazy ass R2D2 one that was like $50.
They had one of those?
It
What
was
the heck?
okay. So the R2 one, it was not worth it. Like his head came up,
Mm-hmm.
like the very top part unscrewed, and you could put like maybe half of a regular sized popcorn in it.
Oh.
And then part of his head was also concave, so you could unscrew that and put a drink in it. And then there was like,
cool, though.
and there was a flap that opened that you could put candy in. But like,
Mhm.
I was holding one, and I
feel like they stole
almost
that
bought
from
one.
Drake and Josh.
Yeah, but
Drake and Josh
like
is the
I could tell
blueprint.
this thing would break inside of the actual theater. Like when you're in the
Mhm.
auditorium, like fumbling around in the dark, you're gonna slap the door off of it, and then it's gonna be useless.
Yeah. Anyway,
See, I got a Black Widow one. When I saw Black Widow, this was $18, and the same for the No Way Home one. This is also $18. This is at like my Marcus one.
see, I'm not
I
a
got-
movie buff, so
I got
not
the
all-
Rise
I
of Skywalker
I try
one.
to
I
see a
got
movie
the
every week.
nice though.
Yeah.
Especially after 2020.
Oh yeah,
we need it.
What was I saying? Oh, villains. I don't think they're gonna do much with Joker at this point. Maybe
you're
we'll
right.
see a glimpse of something if he ends up being back. I really don't. I don't know. As much as I would like to see maybe him get redeemed over the recent Joker, but I'm okay without it. I'd rather be reintroduced to some other villains because of how much I don't know about a lot of them, and I've never really read any comic books.
And the I can't speak. The
Okay. I can't think.
ventriloquist. Yeah, the the ventriloquist from like from the animated series, like that'd be cool.
That
Mm.
would, yeah. That, and again, like there's fertile ground for those more grounded villains, and that's kind of where I don't want to see any repeat villains at this point. Like I don't want another grounded take on Bane. If you're gonna give me Bane, I want super steroids pumping through his goddamn body, and for him to be the size of a fucking truck. Because it's no
at least you got
fun.
the steroids.
Yeah, we do have the steroids, and that was another thing. I really hope they're setting up the Venom serum for Bane to go that direction and actually have him
steroids.
Yeah, bat steroids. But something like that. I don't want another grounded Scarecrow or a grounded Ra's al Ghul. Like, if you're gonna stay grounded, stick with villains who work there, or go batshit crazy with the fantastical stuff. Like Man-Bat. That would be batshit crazy, no pun intended. Holy
Man-Bat's
shit.
just a guy in a... No, he's just going to be a guy in a fur bat suit and probably like jetpacks or whatever.
Just Bruce if he was a furry. Just Bruce if he was a furry.
Just Bruce if he was... Oh. But you're not wrong, though. That would be Bruce.
Furry suit. Furry bat suit.
It's just dead.
I got the image in my head.
Said that.
He's like anime posing and shit.
Please stop.
Oh.
Sorry to anyone who dabbles in the furnace, but anyway, I keep forgetting. Keep losing my train of thought.
That's
My
all
brain's
right.
like, pew, 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 pew. Anyway, yeah, I have no clue, and I would like to see anyone other than Leto be Joker at this point, if there is a Joker that comes back. So
Fair. It's okay. It's okay. Jared Leto's busy with the best superhero movie of the year. Morbius.
Oh God. See, they played
April
that
Fool's joke of all time.
Yep, I said that. I actually, and everyone in my theater laughed. I was like, "That's got to be the best April Fool's joke ever."
God, I can't wait
Wow.
to see it. Travis.
No, I can wait. Let's just delay it to like a year, please.
Travis just he's just movie reviewing on borrowed time at this point. Flash keeps getting pushed back. Morbius keeps getting pushed back.
Why'd you all because Super Pets got cold feet from Top Gun.
Oh, is that what you think did it?
Well, no, I'm just joking about it, but
Oh, I don't know if that was actually your speculation or not.
When was Super Pet supposed to come out?
same weekend as Top Gun.
May something, mid-May. Mid to early May.
Isn't that Doctor Strange month?
May 26th.
That too.
Yeah.
Well, that's Thursday night, May 27th.
So they probably didn't want to compete with that, or also still the Batman while it's still in theaters, because they're going to try to milk this for as much as it's worth.
Theaters? Would it still be out?
It might be. It might be.
There's so little still coming out. I wouldn't be surprised if they let it ride. Fuck, Tenet was still in a movie theater for like 3 months.
It was the only thing in a movie theater for 3 months.
What did it have to go against? New Mutants.
Yes.
That's not a real movie.
10 out of 10 movie, New Mutants.
So I'm not saying Mitch nailed everything I wanted without me knowing it was everything I wanted, but he nailed everything I wanted. I want Court of Owls in live action. I want to see Bruce Wayne fight a Talon, and it will be so cool, especially because we know they can do the detective aspect, watching him comb over old Gotham files and track the Court of Owls. Oh, I need it.
Mad Hatter would be interesting. I agree.
Mhm.
I've been listening to too much stuff about MK Ultra to watch a movie about tripping acid.
The Mad Hatter played by Henry Zabrowski.
I do have to say though, I
as
have
long
been
as he's
seeing
not
a lot
like
of
the Mad.
people.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's
But,
okay. I've been seeing a lot of people want Court of Owls on Twitter and stuff.
It's the coolest thing that's never been done outside the comics, with the exception of the animated movies.
I was just gonna say, as long as he's not like the Mad Hatter from Batwoman, we should be good.
Yeah.
I
And
don't think
want-
anything's going to be like anything from Batwoman. I wouldn't worry about that. No.
Do you know how you see? It's like this for every villain in Batwoman this past season. Mad Hatter, for example, he finds the hat on like the original hat on eBay, and he's like a simp for Alice, and that's how he becomes the Mad Hatter. He just buys the hat off of eBay.
Everyone's got to have an origin story. That's eBay's new commercial. That's eBay's new ad.
Killer Croc.
Everyone-
Someone had the Killer Croc AIDS.
Everyone needs an origin story. John.
I'm not making this up. This all happened.
Good.
If we get Hush, if I get a Hush movie in live action, and it's not 4.5 hours long, and just the entirety of the Hush run, from start to finish, with everything from him decking Superman with kryptonite knuckles while he's possessed by poison ivy, to the Joker not shooting a man in an alleyway. I need all of it.
So
I want the entire thing, nothing left out, no holding back. It doesn't have to be Robert Pattinson. It is the only thing where I'll be like, they have to exactly adapt the comic book for me to be happy. I will say I want them to do something a little different with the sequels. Assuming that we're getting sequels to this, right?
Yeah.
I don't want direct sequels. I don't care what villains they do. I don't want the next movie to be within a year of this one ending. I want it to be 5-6 years later. I want him to have a Robin. We don't need to know how Dick or Jason's parents lost them and how they ended up with Bruce. They're already Robin. They're already operating. I want them to keep up this trend of just dropping us in at a point in the timeline and letting us figure out the events. That's what DC is best at, right? Like, things like Young Justice work because I'm not spending time watching another rehash of Death in the Family. They show me without telling me that Jason has been inducted as a Robin and then killed. And I, as a fan, know what that means for the characters involved. So, like, unless they're going to adapt Death in the Family, which I'm not opposed to, right? Because even then, give me Death in the Family where we already have an established Nightwing and Jason's already his Robin and we build up the relationship for him to die at the end.
That is interesting. I really like your idea of continuing just drop us in cold.
It's what DC
I don't think
does
that's a
best.
bad idea.
I think DC has so many especially like Batman in particular has so many concrete moments in his story that when you watch in a quote unquote original Batman story, you're playing the game of, if it's not in live action, I should say, you get to play the fun game of, does he have a Robin yet? How many Robins has he had? Has he lost Jason yet? Has he encountered this villain yet? All of these different points in his life and the Robins' lives and in Jim's life and in, just everything going on with Gotham. that for them to spend more movies trying to establish things doesn't make any sense. And that's why this movie does so well. Again, I don't need to establish Jim Gordon as a family man who loves his daughter and loves his city and just wants to protect it and is the only good cop on the force. Like, I know all of that about him already. Just show me him working with Batman. Show me him being Jim Gordon. Don't tell me who Jim Gordon is. I don't need to see Dick's parents die in a trapeze accident that turns out to be a murder. I know that's what's going to happen. I know he's going to be a Robin. Show him to me being a Robin and how that affects him as a character. You know? I think you get a lot more mileage out of your movies that way.
I think you're right. And I think that, if the movie can do what this one has done, to do the show us the Waynes, but don't, pearls go flying in the air.
Exactly.
Continue to do that. For me, villain wise, I am going to beat the dead horse, or owl, as it were. There is legitimate setup for the Court of Owls in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like just having someone named, I keep getting Lincoln March, Thomas Elliott confused. Never mind with that point. But like the DA talking about, it goes so much deeper than you know. Like, you could absolutely have that. Like, yeah, you can leave it there and be like, yeah, GCPD's crooked as hell. Or there's a whole ass secret society running Gotham and has been for centuries. And they're owl themed because owls and bats are enemies. And this shit's ridiculous. And I fucking love it. Like, get weird. Stay weird. I think if you want to keep Robert Pattinson in that suit, you have to stay weird and you have to get weirder as you go.
He goes up against a werewolf.
Huh?
Just goes up against a werewolf. Play by
Taylor Lautner again. Will be playing. Yeah, Taylor Lautner will play Hush. And no one will acknowledge it at all. And
did you see? I thought, didn't he do an interview recently that he'd be like, "I'd be Rob's Robin."
I didn't see that, but I love that so much. I saw
something about that they asked him.
Yeah, you sent it to me. Yeah, we could see them as. Or you sent it to me. It was a TikTok, and then it was
I don't know how credible it was, but.
It cut to a guy who was like, Taylor's Robin, a Bat Chica, or something.
Bat Loca.
Bat Loca, that's it.
Where you been, Bat Loca?
Yeah.
From Twilight.
I want that so badly now. I want Taylor Lautner to play a Robin. I don't care which one. I'm cool with whatever. But yeah, I like my big three are Court of Owls, Mr. Freeze, and Hush. Those are the ones I want the most. Very close behind there is Bane. Again, I don't want him to just be jacked because he's jacked. I want him to be using some type of prototype steroid that he pumps into his body that's neon green, and he grows 3 times the size of a normal man and can pick people up. Like, I want that kind of ridiculous comic bookiness. And I do want to see Barry's Joker. I don't necessarily need him to be the main antagonist of anything. But if they could ever repurpose the idea of him consulting him in Arkham, or if like Joker's maybe the B villain, I think that would be interesting.
Well, like the way he's kind involved in a Hush story, or
exactly, yeah.
Or I also really like the idea of, because again, the fact that he's in there and he's clearly the Joker means that he's already gone up against Robert Pattinson as Batman.
Lost, yeah,
or at least feigned losing because it's the Joker and who knows what he's up to. That is another thing we could get an Arkham Asylum style movie, right? Where it's him locked in the asylum for a night.
That'd be so cool.
But I agree. I would love to see more of him going to see the Joker. I say more of like we saw it, but that using that as a look, man, you do some weird shit, and I just fought a guy dressed as an owl. What do you got for me, man?
Just
Like,
shows
he
up
had
with a
big
picture.
eyes and claws. Do you have anything to do with this, or am I going in cold? And the Joker just laughs and he's like, "Yeah, that might be the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life." And I'm the Joker.
That would be so good, and I could see Barry with like he has like a really funny sense of humor that we see at least in Internals a little bit. So like to see Barry just kind of have like a "you're on your own, man," like a reaction to looking at a talent and just have fun with that. Not my problem. Not my circus, not my dead orphans. But oh yeah, there's just so much potential here, and like I am fully convinced those thugs we see at the beginning are the Joker gang. I am
100%, yeah.
I'm fully convinced. Now that we know that there is an existing Joker who's been incarcerated, that's the Joker gang, and that's the coolest shit. Like we knew that from trailer 1. Trailer 1, the big moment on vengeance. We see that.
When most of the movie is, I say most of the movie, a lot of this movie is setting up pieces and showing you bits that make this world feel lived in. It has a history. It's not his first year; it's the second year. For that not to be the Joker gang would be really weird.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's fair. But yeah, because I know Mitch hates this part, and I think we're all pretty much in agreement. I'm going to skip the rating part because I even have it as my name. It's an A+. It's perfect. This is the Batman
Best
movie
movie
I've
of the
wanted.
year.
Even
Even though there's not many movies out this year, but I feel like it. If the next few movies coming out don't top this one, I would say this might be the best movie of the year from now till
I mean,
December.
every other movie coming
though
out
it's
this
too
year
early.
has really steep competition now.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is everything I wanted. I can't wait to see this Bruce Wayne continue to grow. I really hope we get to see that happen at least. And yeah, with that, I think we're ready to bring this on home.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, Nick, final thoughts and plugs.
Well, you see, I wouldn't be surprised if I just want to say I would not be surprised if this took like the Tom Holland Spider-Man route, and because both Matt Reeves and Kevin Feige when Homecoming in this movie came out, they both said this is not the origin story for the first movie. But what if it's like the trilogy is like his origin story instead?
Yeah, I can also see it playing it like how the Spider-Man movies do with the timeline.
Yeah.
Like if you do a Court of Owls for a second, hypothetically, that kind of needs to be tied to the events of this movie. And cracking that case would make sense to be like a week or hours after this movie for a sequel. At least a direct one. The third one, you can do whatever with a time jump. But...
Yeah. Or at the very least, have it be whenever the Court of Owls stuff starts to crop up, we see it going back to renewal, and Bruce can be like, I guess this case is wide open again. Have it all be intertwined. Yeah, and then Nick, where can the lovely people find you? And then whenever you're done, Mitch, you can go, and I'm going to be right back. Keep talking.
All right. Well, you can find me on Twitter at NFJ Films. You can find my podcast, Multiple Fan Bases, a show that me and my good friend Micah do weekly. It's been bi-weekly for a little bit, but it's weekly. You can find that on Spotify. You can also find shows Twitter at Multiple Fan Bases 1, or it's Multiple Fan Bases 1, or it's Multiple Fans. I don't know what it is. And you can also, and if you have any questions for the show, you can also email it at multiplefanbases@gmail.com. Yeah, it's Multiple Fans 01. Yeah, that's the Twitter. All right, Mitch.
I'm Mitch. You can follow me weekly at the Comic Book Cast channel. Just go to youtube.com/comicbookcast. I remember the URL for the first time in my life. You can also go on twitch.tv/comicbookcast2, and we do the show live weekly there. And you can also follow me on Twitter at 692tweets. And who else?
Me? You want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
All right. Well, you can find me at LexiLion98 on Twitter and LexiLion98 on TikTok. Sometimes doing cosplay things, sometimes not. Who knows? Also with the Nerd Academy. What else? Instagram at acapella98. It's different because somebody else has acapella98 for Twitter and everything else. So they're all different. Travis?
They can find me cleaning my desk because every time I sit at it for an extended period of time, I have an allergy attack to the dust on it, so I need to dust this thing at some point. They can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Travis Political, not really tweeting or posting pictures because I don't use the socials a bunch. And they can find me here next week to talk more Batman, and on Saturday for number one contender, which I still need to watch, Friday Night Titans.
I'm
And
halfway
also-
through last week's. It's a good match. Mitch, Lexi, and Travis, final thoughts on Batman, by the way. I feel like I didn't make that clear. If you wanted to bring it on home. Like, don't worry about a grade.
Oh,
Unless you
well,
want to give it a grade, but
10 out of 10, A+. I loved it. Would watch again. Maybe, depending if I have 3 hours to spare.
Yeah.
hey, keep in mind, it's going to be on HBO Max in a month.
Oh, wow. Yeah. There you
So
go.
pretty soon we're going to be able to rewatch this movie with pee breaks built in.
Perfect.
Excellent. I get to see more of the Robert Pattinson shirtless scene because that's when I took mine for this movie.
Yeah.
Also, on that note, his stature, right? It's pretty, like, it's decent.
He's
He's
small.
not like,
He's a small
yeah, he is.
Batman.
He's small, but he's not like
It's-
huge like Ben.
It's the perfect
just
physique.
kinda-
It's the perfect Batman physique.
He can
I
move
agree.
his neck.
Not-
I'm happy. That's it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you completely. I think the discourse whenever the like production first started about how Robert Pattinson was like, I think doing these like super dehydrated, swole superheroes is bad for body image reasons. Which, like, kudos to our Pats. We don't talk about dude body image stuff enough. We don't talk about it for women enough either. But I don't like. I think we're so used to the status quo of like making it so that our superhero actors don't drink water for a month and a half, so that they can have one scene where they're like at the camera. It's terrible for your
fine.
health.
He was small, but he looked fine.
He looked fine, and like he does have muscle though. Like people were expecting him to
Yeah.
be this like bony thing, and like he's
Just leaner.
He's
yeah.
athletic.
Yeah, that's what I said. Don't steal
Yeah.
my thing.
But yeah, but I like that. Like I like muscle-bound Batman, but muscle-bound Batman works better for an older Batman, where like, to use Lexi's word, like that athletic build doesn't work when you're like 60 and still trying to do this.
That's
Old
how I
man-
explained it to Travis the other day. I was like, he's not hulking, but he's athletic. He looks like he's running around at nighttime.
Yeah,
No
And, like,
sleep.
and the armor does the fact that it's an armored bat suit does the heavy lifting for being able to be a power fighter, for being able to tank big hits. Like, you don't have to be built like a brick shithouse when your fist is metal.
Yeah.
Like,
And also his fist is metal, so he's gonna have some muscle.
yeah,
Under
exactly.
there.
Like, there's that give and take. Yeah. Plus the
Uh,
tasers on his wrist help
I-
too.
I will say the discourse has not stopped about it, and because I follow some bodybuilding people, it's a thing I like to look into. And yes, after the movie came out, I opened my sub box to see, should Robert Pattinson have used steroids for the Batman? No, I didn't click on it because I prioritize my mental health.
What?
Oh yeah, dude.
That was
bad.
the actual take?
Well, it was should he have? I didn't watch the video, so the answer was probably no. Because most of
You'd
like,
hope it would be no.
you know, for most of these people, for most of these guys, when they talk about this stuff, I'll try to keep this brief. The general discussion is it does not matter that these guys, because most, especially if they're in their late 30s, early 40s, if you're seeing like John Krasinski, if you're seeing Chris Evans or whoever do a shirt, Chris Hemsworth is the big one recently. They're probably on a little something, right? And that's
That's what
their choice.
Armin points out all the time. That like veiny, like your veins have veins and your
I say
muscles
Hugh
have
Jackman
muscles.
is the main offender for that.
Oh
You can
yeah.
tell. You can tell.
Cavill in
There's
The
an-
Witcher.
Yeah, Cavill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. That's their personal choice with their bodies they're allowed to make. And I think it's less on them and more on the studios because there are some actors who have talked about it. Guy from Always Sunny. I don't remember his
Howerton?
name.
Which one?
Glenn Howerton?
The one that
Charlie
got really
Day?
big and no, not Charlie Day. The
No,
other.
Mac. So
Mac.
it's what's his name? McElhaney. What's his first name?
Yeah.
Tim, Ted, something like that?
No.
Is it just Rob? Yeah, Rob McElhaney.
Rob, yeah, has almost just overtly stated, yes, I use testosterone for my transformation on Always Sunny. Kumail Nanjiani has also said something similar. Where like, I think it's more of a studio thing trying to keep it under wraps. And the issue isn't that they're doing it; it's that they're not telling people they're doing it, and then men are looking at that and going, well, I want to do that. And they're saying that all they needed to do is train 7 hours a day and eat chicken, broccoli, and rice. If someone tells you they've trained 7 hours a day for 5 days a week and eaten chicken, broccoli, and rice, that's code for they're on steroids. That's them pleading for help.
It's a cry for help.
And I Robert Pattinson, I commend him greatly for just having like, yes, I run over rooftops and do karate and kick the crap out of people. I don't know what Steiner math is.
That's
And I'm
that
afraid
old
that-
wrestling promo that I've said it in the
Oh.
chat before.
Yeah.
They're like, normally when you're going against the guy in a wrestling match, you got a 50-50 chance of winning, but I'm a genetic freak and I'm not normal. And Samoa Joe, that one, that's what he's referring to.
And yeah, but I think Pattinson, his physique is perfect. He's athletic. He's not sleeping, so he can't be like some bodybuilding freak.
No.
But he clearly can do acrobatics and run over rooftops and do karate and while wearing a metal suit. It's perfect. Just keep him as he is. He's perfect.
I agree with you completely. Mitch, did you have any final thoughts on the movie?
Apart from I just adored this movie outright. I wasn't expecting to. Like, I thought the trailers always looked good, but I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much. If I had to gripe on something, it would be the 3-hour runtime. But I've said this before. I don't know what I would cut out to make it any shorter. I think everything in this movie served a purpose. There was no fluff or filler. It was just nonstop. Everything needs to be there. So yeah, probably
Nirvana.
not quite a perfect movie, but very, very close to it. Like, I adored this thing, start to finish.
Yeah, I was going to say with Lexi bringing up the Nirvana thing, I am sure the living members and the Cobain estate are very happy right now. Because I am sure the residuals A, from the movie, and B, for everybody who went home, opened Spotify, put that album on, or specifically just put Something in the Way on, and just went home, headlights off, and Something in the Way, dead behind
That
their
actually
fucking
kind of
eyes.
took me out of the movie. That bit.
Really?
What?
Yeah, because the whole we haven't even talked about the score, right? But that entire score worked so well for
Oh
everything.
my god, yeah.
And then it just stops for Nirvana, and I'm like, what's going on? This isn't what
I don't have an
the movie's
opinion on it,
advertised
but
itself.
that's hilarious, though. Yeah, you're right.
I did see a TikTok the other day that the main theme, like the main Batman
Which
theme,
one?
is just the like the bum bum bum, right, that one. It's just the chords of Something in the Way without the tempo
isn't
and
it?
brought down to a single note. Like someone was like, if I play that on guitar and I make it into the correct chords that they would be if I played it on guitar, and then gave it just a little bit of a different tempo, it's just Something in the Way.
But arranged to sound like the Imperial March too.
Yeah.
Like it. Like I remember we were talking
I
about
thought
that.
that every time I heard it, I thought it was going to go into that, and I'm like, wait, this is Batman.
There's also a bit of Mandalorian in there with the sprues. Like he walks and there's some kind of noise, like a sprue.
Oh yeah,
Really weird.
I love it. Oh, the sound design's incredible too. Again, everything about this movie, I love it. I love it. I love Batman having the same theme song as Darth Vader. I'm getting both of my boys this year. I'm happy. I gotta wait till May for Vader, but I'm sure the Batman will hold me over once it comes out on HBO Max. But yeah, for me, I already went. I forgot. I did that first because I had to go to the bathroom really badly. So yeah, this was great. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you to Dark Shadow 2552, Nerd Academy Podcast, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts. And you can go to our website, www.thenerdacademypodcast.com, where, if you're feeling generous, you can donate to our Patreon page. Speaking of our patrons, thank you to our $10 alumnus,
Oh, me?
Nick Johnson.
Hi.
There it is. Delta Niner and Paco, I love your name. I love your name. I love the Alex Jones joke in it. I'm not reading one of these words on air because I am not gonna let YouTube
Jared,
maybe
do
try
it.
to swat us.
Jared, do it.
What'd you
He's
say?
paid money, you got to read it.
Okay, you're getting it
It's
one
true.
time, and then I'm not repeating it for the rest of the month. You got to take this part out of your name. Thank you to Alex Jones's pedophilic globalist reptilian QAnon horse ivermectin. I am not saying that P word every episode because I'm not going to roll the dice. I will, but in honor of it,
Maybe I'll walk out of here tomorrow and you never see me again. That's really what I want to do.
I find a new Alex drop to do for Paco now. As Travis alluded to earlier, number one contender is back in full force this week. We're going to be talking the season opener. We're going to talk last week's Friday Night Titans and this week's Friday Night Titans, whatever it may be. I know Ethan Irwin versus Janine the Machine is a part of it, so that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Or Mr. Irwin. Ethan has a new name now. We got more comments real quick. Oh, yeah. I saw your earlier one, Yuri. And then actually because of the song. I don't blame you. So yeah, that'll be coming. For $10 patrons right now, the Dark Knight episode of Movie Club is up. The Batman Begins episode came out this week. So you have like a week and some change of early access for the Dark Knight. Dark Knight Rises will be out next week. And then the following week, like I said earlier, Travis, Alden Diaz, and myself are going to be doing an episode about the philosophy of Batman, which we're very excited for. I love just putting Alden on camera and letting him talk. He's one of my favorite people. He's brilliant. So yeah, check all that out. this was really fun, and I am loving TNAP Bat Month. So thank you all so very much for listening. Class where the fuck is the clip? Class dismissed.
Stop! Move away